Sims and Leon, your mom's favorite podcast. Trust me, I'm a mom.
I'm a cool mom. No.
Well, welcome to round 2 of the Mother's Day special.
That's right.
And if y'all don't know, we broadcast our recordings live on twitch.tv/Sims and Leon. So check that out and click that little heart and you'll get notifications whenever we go live. And it's the only one-time live view. You can't go back and watch it again, but it's a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah.
And you can interact with us a little bit too on the Twitch side of things. So
yeah, and you never know when we might call you out and you make it on the actual podcast.
And you also never know when we might just forget to hit record.
Yeah.
And you'll get some content that no one will ever see again.
Extra content. Or
Okay, so we're back to the mom show.
yeah. Happy Mother's Day, ladies.
Happy
Thank
Mother's
you.
Day. So
Thank you.
I think both of y'all heard the question I've been asking every mother, and it was Brenda's idea, who was supposed to be on with us now, but she's ignoring me.
Yeah, because she has twins.
She does have
Like,
twins.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. I can't handle twins and being on a
2-year-old
podcast.
twins, I mean, shoot. They pretty much run themselves. Right?
Just put them outside, throw them in water. There's
Yeah.
the two solutions you need for kids, right?
Exactly.
Holly, I'll ask you first. What was the first experience you had with the baby moving inside you? How did it feel? Do you remember anything? You probably don't remember, do you?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Why not? Do you have
I
memory
mean,
loss or what?
I don't.
She doesn't
have
remember
A
shit.
I
Early
don't
stages of
have a
dementia?
very good memory, and
What's today?
Tuesday.
Who's the president?
Your mom.
She's definitely not, but
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I remember it moving around. Not the first time, but it was.
Is that how he identifies himself? Is
Yes,
it?
we're all into
Is that his
pronouns
pronoun?
being it. Yes, that's Gabe's pronoun. It's a it.
It.
He was moving around several times, and it was very alien-like. But I don't remember the first time.
Okay.
Does that make me a bad mom?
I don't think so.
Okay,
No.
good. Thank God.
I knew as soon as I asked it, you probably wouldn't remember.
I mean, the only other answer we've gotten from other moms is it was like a fart.
Yeah.
Felt like butterflies and farts. Stephanie, did you have a different experience besides butterflies and farts?
No, I would say that's pretty well it. I do remember immediately after going, what the heck was that? Oh, that had to have been what they said it was going to feel like, because you didn't know, right?
Yeah.
But to Holly's credit, that it's like an alien inside of you. My best memory is with Stetson. I was in the bathtub and I was sitting there, and my ex-husband happened to be in there with me, and Stetson's entire foot, like toes and all, went completely across my stomach where you could see the entire outline of his foot, and I was like, oh my God, that was creepy.
Oh, I don't know how I'd handle that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it was very weird.
I'd start slapping it.
I'd be
like,
reaching
"Get
up
your
and
ass
pulling that
back in there."
motherfucker out. I was like, you done, man. You done cooked. You done baked.
It was absolutely weird. But like with Steven, I mean, I knew what it felt like, so with him it wasn't quite as a surprise as it was with Stetson.
That would be really weird. See a foot coming out of you, but
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
You
weird.
count the toes. Make sure you had all 5.
Oh, you could literally see his entire foot. So yeah, you knew he was at least that foot was completely fine.
Oh shit! There's only 4 toes.
Did you ever worry he was gonna like kick his way out, like push all the way through and break skin?
No.
It's like one of those pin toys where you push up against and you stick
Yeah.
it
It's
on your
just
face.
so
you go.
that
Yeah.
flexible.
Yeah, there you go.
So weird. All right, Holly, what's one? You know what? I'll ask Stephanie first.
Thank you.
I did not give Holly any heads up,
I appreciate that.
and I feel bad because I thought she didn't want any heads up, and I just
Yeah.
misread
Completely
something.
Misread the text.
All right, Stephanie, tell me a story about one time or many times when one of your kids embarrassed you, or an embarrassing story about your kid. Either way, you pick. Dealer's choice.
So the only thing that I can think of with my children embarrassing me was we were at a Mexican food restaurant, and I guess he was about 15 at the time.
Was it ponchos?
No,
Oh.
it wasn't a Poncho's. It was, I think, Rosa's actually.
Oh.
And he always likes to get beef fajita tacos. And so we're sitting down. The place is packed because it's probably like Taco Tuesday or something. And Stetson starts choking on his like beef fajita and literally
It's so
makes
funny.
like this weird bird sound And Steven and I were both like, did this just happen?
Can you replicate the bird sound, please?
No, absolutely not. I knew that was going to come, and no, I won't even try. But it was, people turned and looked, and Stetson was just like,
Was it more
my
like
bad.
more
I'm
like
fine.
a caca, or was it more like a chirp?
Ka-cha.
It was more like a balking.
Balking? Like,
Yeah, like kind of, but just like the loud part of it. Yeah, kind of like that, but a little deeper.
Okay.
why did you find that story so funny, Holly? Like, before you got to the funny part, you were already laughing.
Because I was so curious how you make a bird sound. It's like
You started laughing
tweet,
before the
tweet.
bird sound
No,
came out.
I heard the tweet. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Tweet sound.
I feel like you prematurely laughed on that one. As soon as she said, and he started choking, you started laughing.
Yeah.
No,
I was afraid it was going to turn dirty when I brought that part up.
No.
Well, we're not going to do that to your kids. But speaking of that,
So did you have to get him the Heimlich, or was he just pass
No,
it,
he
or
was
what?
able to get it up on his own.
Okay, so the chirp helped.
his bird noise embarrassed you. What other embarrassing stories do you have about your kids?
Oh man.
Or just one of them?
Okay, I'll tell you one, and I will say I did know a heads up, so I asked him. I was like, so if you had a preference of me not telling a story, which one would it be? And he, of course, gave me the most recent one. So,
Well, then let's tell that story.
no, that one's pretty bad.
How
won't
bad?
tell that
Come on. You can't
No,
tease
we
us
won't
like
tell
that.
one. We won't tell that one. All of my close friends know that story.
Give us the Cliff Notes.
It's rated R,
Okay.
and Mom was involved with naked children. It was walking in on naked children. It was very uncomfortable.
Oh, this was a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple years ago. Really embarrassing. But a really good one, too.
Was somebody hiding in the
is-
closet?
Someone was hiding in the closet.
Okay.
Yep.
Was it you?
Nope.
Okay. All right, all
It
right.
wasn't me.
We don't want to tell this story.
It was during virtual school, too, which is even worse.
Oh. They were just studying together.
Teacher. in
Right.
the
Yep.
closet.
Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely studying. That's what I was told, too. But for real, and a good embarrassing story is, again, poor Stetson. He gets picked on because he's the oldest and has had the most life happen to him. But as a fairly early on single mom, I walked into the bathtub because it was just like a one bathroom house. Walked into the shower, and there are little particles of something all over the bottom of the bathtub.
A little
Had no idea what they were.
particles of something?
Of something, yes. Little bitty flakes of something. So I immediately go into Stetson's room, knowing he had just taken a shower. I go in there and I'm like, hey, what the hell is all over the bathroom floor or the bathtub floor? And he was like, And I'm like, seriously, what's all over the bathtub floor? And he was like, mumbled it. I'm
Hold on,
like,
wait.
What?
What?
Say that again?
That's
Still can't
literally what he
understand
said. Right. And I couldn't either when he said it. And so I was like, huh? And he goes, what?
Oh.
I threw up.
No. Keep going. Let's.
And I'm like, what? What are you saying? And he was like, oh my God, Mom, I shaved my balls. To which I said,
So, was this with a razor?
yeah, that was my immediate response was, dear God, I hope you didn't use my razor. It's the only one in the shower.
So it definitely was your
So it
razor.
was.
100% was my razor. Yeah. I mean, I never got confirmation, but logic tells you it's the only
Which
option
immediately
available.
became his razor.
For sure.
Yeah.
So Holly, when was the last time Gabe shaved his balls with your razor?
I haven't gotten there yet. Thank God. We'll go ahead and prevent that.
Or that she knows of.
I'll learn from Stephanie's.
Well, he has his
So
own
you're gonna-
bathroom-ish.
Yes.
Oh, well, true.
So
So
that
you're gonna
helps.
lock
God.
up your razor every time you use it.
Yes.
So, do you have any embarrassing stories for Gabe, or of Gabe embarrassing you?
So the one that comes to mind, only probably because Stephanie just told a restaurant type story.
Yeah.
And it's funny more than maybe embarrassing, but we did all laugh anyway. So we went to a very nice dinner for
Roses?
No.
No.
It was
Nachos?
actually a really nice dinner, and it was, he was probably like 8, and at that age, a nice enough restaurant, you can find something to eat.
You don't want him to get chicken nuggies.
No, absolutely
Why
not.
not?
Because we're trying to expand his palate and make him not like
So you want
that
him to
kid.
get the ribeye.
So we were looking at appetizers, and there were elk tacos.
Oh.
And so it
This
was
place
one
is
of those,
fancy.
right? So it was a nice restaurant. Lady comes over and
Probably not in Burleson.
No, it was Fort Worth, and it was nice. And so the lady walks up
Golden
and
Corral.
hey,
Or
And-
Brahms, whatever.
he did not get a banana split. He basically was like, hey, 8, 9 maybe. He looked at the waitress and said, how spicy are the elk tacos? And before she could even answer, he said, I'm half Mexican, so I can handle a little spice. And the whole table erupted because he actually, I believe, thought that was some sort
That's
of
his logic.
qualifier. Yeah, there's some sort of qualifier for like jalapenos of you have to have a little.
If you're a little brown, you can handle some spice.
Yeah, the whole table died laughing, and he ate some elk tacos for the first time. So that was pretty funny. I'll tell one more story just because it would embarrass him, but he was young enough. So my brother, first time uncle, only nephew, whatever, came.
Does it start with a P and ends with an airy?
Yeah.
Stephanie, have you ever met Perry?
I don't think I have actually met Perry,
Okay.
but I've heard a lot about Perry.
Yeah.
Only good things, I'm sure. So he was
100%.
super excited to be an uncle for the first time. And, Gabe was born in October. I think it was one of the holidays, Thanksgiving or Christmas. And he came and he stole my kid away and took him over to the Leons. And was like, hey, I'm taking your kid. And he was so excited about showing my kid off and his first nephew and how exciting. And of course, he's in the car seat facing backwards. He gets to
Like,
the
I'm
Leons.
assuming this is summertime pool party.
No, it was Christmas or Thanksgiving, and he was
Okay, that
showing.
makes sense, too.
But Brandy and
Yeah, yeah.
Troy were in town, and they were just gonna show the baby off. And at some point in that car ride from Joshua to Burleson, Gabe shit his pants.
Ooh. Hey,
And-
just like his uncle.
Oh man. And it went all up his back, and Brandy
Like crawfish guts.
yeah. Brandy ended up like having to give him a dang like bath because Perry didn't know what to do. He was
And Brandy
single
didn't
at
know
the
what to
time.
do either.
I'm sure, but Brandy,
Well, I guess-
she's a little bit more helpful
And-
in those types of situations. I
And
can
at that
just
point,
imagine.
Brooklyn and Dale were already born. They were probably about 4 or 5 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So they had been in diapers, but yeah, he blew out and I just was so embarrassed on behalf of Perry, but I was also embarrassed because I
That's
was
your
like,
kid?
yeah, that's my kid. He was probably 2 months old, but it was like, well, his diaper can't contain him, and so
I mean, it's a baby. What do you expect? Babies
I-
poop. That's
well-
what they do.
the best part is that we will never let Gabe live that down.
Y'all experience parenthood different than the other parents that we've talked to today, because y'all's kids both have grown up with technology in their hands, cameras, phones. They've been texting since they were children. All of us didn't start texting till we were legit adults,
True.
like
Well,
well
not me.
into our
Not me.
adulthood. Sorry, not Dustin. He had that fucking iPhone when he was 14 years old.
I had the first iPhone before Ricky had an iPhone.
He
He
did?
still had the
You must
Fratberry.
be rich.
I still have it.
This motherfucker got a John Deere tractor for his 15th birthday, and then a
Easy.
brand
I
new
was not even 15.
Silverado for that Silverado's 15th birthday.
Yeah.
The
I should
4-door
have my license
Z71.
Damn.
yet. Yeah.
So
Brought in
yeah,
all the bitches.
he does.
Don't talk
I'm
to
just
Gabe.
kidding. No. That was probably the I will never do that for my kid, period. I didn't deserve that truck. No way.
You
Yeah.
took care of it though.
I did take care of it.
Yeah, you took really good care of it.
Yeah, I took care of it. But still, did not deserve any of that. It was not the best financial decision to be made.
Okay, so with kids and having access to literally everything, is that kind of a struggle sometimes?
Yes.
Like I feel like my
For
parents.
me,
Yeah.
100%. Can I tell a story?
Yes.
Okay, so this is just recently, within the last year. What I've learned is they FaceTime all the time. Everything is FaceTime. You don't make phone calls. You FaceTime.
Huh.
And Gabe had a homecoming situation and whatever, and he comes in my room and says, yeah, I just talked to so-and-so, and I was like, oh, because I had already heard, like, the backstory drama. I was like, oh, does she feel bad for making everybody awkward?
Well,
and
do we need to talk about the drama?
no,
Okay.
it's beside the point. But basically, he explains to me that she is on FaceTime and in his ear pods. And I'm like, oh, so the fact that they have all this technology, I haven't quite kept up with, but I basically
So
kind of
you're
made,
talking shit while
yeah,
she can
while
hear it?
she can hear me. It's like, well, there needs to be like a green light, red light.
An on-air light?
I need some sort of indication that I can be heard. And earpods are not like
Yeah.
that great at that situation.
Dude, that
so.
has me at work because Larry, he's in the office right next to me, and he has his earpods in all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll go in there and start talking to him, and he's already in a conversation like, son of a bitch, just pick up your fucking phone and
Needs
talk on it. It's so
needs that
confusing.
on-air light.
Needs the on-air light.
Yeah.
And I've always felt like an idiot when I do that.
Yeah.
Because, I have a really funny story. There was 3 of us at the office the other day. It was me, our admin, our office manager admin, and then one of our sales reps.
So are you, phone bitch?
No. Our office admin
Oh.
office manager admin girl was there. So Dustin, not you, different Dustin. He was on he just got on the phone with somebody, and our office manager got on so he's one of the cubicle drones. He doesn't have his own office.
Mm-hmm.
So I was walking out of my office, I don't remember what I was doing, but I hear Kelsey go on the intercom talking to Dustin. And Dustin is on the phone with somebody else, kind of away from his cube. But the conversation works out perfectly, so Kelsey doesn't realize this. And she legit had a conversation with her until at one point he said something about driving a Chevy instead of a Ford. And she was like, what are you talking about? And I just started laughing. And I went to Kelsey's office like, that was so much fun to watch live. Like, I wanted to say something, but this was so entertaining. Like, it's better than going to the
You're
movies.
like, I'm not going to stop the chaos.
So he couldn't hear her talking, like actual talking. He was on the phone.
Yeah, because every time she was talking, somebody was talking to him on his phone.
Right.
And he was away from his desk, but on intercom, it picks him up anyways.
Yeah.
So she heard every response he was making, which sounded like he was responding to her perfectly. And it went on for a good almost a minute. I mean, that's a long time when you're talking
That's
to
a
somebody
long time.
to not realize they're not responding to you.
That is pretty funny.
All right, Steffi, do you have any fun stories about phones and interrupting?
So my kids have had them. I guess Stetson was 9 probably when he got his first phone. But I have made it a point the entire time to sporadically check their phones and
Okay.
just see what's going on.
Good mom.
I try to be, but it doesn't always work out. So one instance, I think Steven was probably 4, and so he was still pretty big into like Elmo. And that means Stetson would have been 10 or 11, give or take. And I walk into Stetson Steven has Stetson's phone. Stetson had apparently opened up YouTube for him and put on this Elmo video. And it was literally just Elmo going, F-U-C-K, fuck.
Hold on. How does this video even exist?
I don't know. We could probably find it.
I am
but
finding it on my way home.
definitely not 4-year-old appropriate.
No, probably. So how far are they apart? It's probably not the older one appropriate at that point.
Yeah, they're 6.5 years apart.
Yeah. So even 10, do you want them like doing a fuck cheer?
No, right. And I mean, even since then, like, I have seen pictures of things on his phone that you shouldn't see.
Oh, like what?
Body parts?
Like feet, hands, hair?
No. Boy genitalia?
Oh, dick pics. Is that what you're saying?
Penises, yes. Yeah.
The same kid that shaved his balls with your razor.
Yep, the same one.
That
was a very awkward conversation to have.
Okay,
Yeah.
I have questions, but I'm not going to ask them because as soon as I was about to ask a question, it came. There's no good way to ask this question, but I think we all know what I'm going to ask, right?
No.
Okay, then let's just walk away.
Well, so what I will say is for any
Was it an erect penis?
potential. Oh God. Oh my God. That is not what I was gonna ask. But who takes a pic? Anyway.
Who takes a picture of a flaccid penis?
I didn't say that. But once you learn about what is it? Your
The
eyes
birds and the
only.
bees?
No, the your eyes only on Snapchat.
Yep.
You can run into some dangerous effing territory.
Okay, I don't even.
right there.
I don't know what that is.
It is where you can lock away pictures from your parents, but once your parents know about it, and then
Interesting. So you've
Mm-hmm.
experienced similar.
No, I didn't want to. I was like, open this, delete anything in there, and please never do that again. Thank you.
Yeah, this was all pre-Snapchat era. I think he was probably 13.
Yeah.
So he was really just learning about himself at that point.
It's not like he's sending this to other people. He just
No, it was all
Okay.
honest. I believe that it was all honest of what he was doing.
No. I think that makes a lot of sense because I imagine if at that age, if I had the ability to take pictures of whatever I wanted to, I definitely probably would be. Even not to send them to anybody, just out of curiosity, you know.
Right.
To
That was an immediate
record-
response of mine was, please God, tell me you didn't send these to somebody.
And obviously, he told you he didn't.
Yeah, no, and there wasn't any history in it in his text messages either, and he's 13, so, I mean, I still
so
believe
you're
the
just
honesty's
recording
innocent
for
phase.
posterity, Ricky? Is
So-
that what's happening?
When you start becoming a certain age as a boy, your body parts start doing different things,
Right.
and it makes you very curious about it.
So
And
you want to take pictures,
yeah,
the things that are happening? Okay.
yeah.
I don't listen. I'm not. I'm
Do
not
they
a
grow
teenage
out of
boy.
that?
No, never.
Right.
I mean,
that's, yeah, they don't grow out of that, so.
It's just like I'm recording
Ricky's
my
credit-
history.
Right, I want to see the change take place. To Ricky's credit, I mean, I can understand the thought process of him at 13. You know what I mean?
yeah. And that's kind of where I'm going with it. Is like he's not. It's weird that his mom saw those pictures,
For sure.
and at that point, you're like, maybe I should not take these pictures anymore. But eventually, he's going to be taking them again.
Yeah, well,
It's just
he's of age now that I don't feel the need to check his phone anymore, so I don't.
Every once in a while, I remind my kid that he may want to run for president one day, and that's my strategy. It's not a good strategy.
and he's already got the half Mexican vote.
Yes, absolutely.
So do
He
you have,
may have a full Mexican vote.
so do you have any fun stories about Stetson? Steven.
Oh, poor Steven. Not really. I mean, he is so still innocent. He just turned 12, so we haven't really gotten to that point yet. Other than, I mean, like the little boy stories, you know, and like we call him Stinky Feet Pete a lot because his feet are disgustingly gross. But I also think that is part of the change that takes place with boys, too. So not 100% anything that he can help.
Hold on. The stinky feet thing just being a change kind of blows my mind because I feel like I never had stinky feet.
Well, that's a good mom question for Mother Teresa.
Okay.
Because
First
Stetson
of all,
for sure did.
She does not like that name.
Oh, well, sorry, Mom.
Oh, what a great name.
So both of your kids had stinky feet?
Yeah, both of them did. And hormone related is what I think that it honestly is, because it's not every single day. I mean, I don't know. Some days it's 100% worse.
Where the fuck did Dustin go?
He abandoned us.
Yeah. So does Gabe have stinky feet?
No.
Did he ever have
the
stinky feet?
immediate thing that happened was the voice change. Like that was the first indication, and that was 11 years old. Like within 30 days, it was, "Hey, Mom." Yeah. "Hey, Mom." I was like, "What?" At 11, I was like, I'm totally ill-equipped. But yeah, no, he didn't. But listen, I have an only child, so I feel like I have a very. it's just not a realistic. I like him so much, and I'm probably misremembering or missmelling. I honestly didn't think my kid's shit smelled for probably about the first month and a half. I was like, his shit doesn't even smell. Look how awesome he is. I'm deluded.
So, did you experience that, Stephanie? Did your kid's shit not stink?
That I don't remember, so I'm pretty confident that it did.
Because I feel like as a baby, they're not eating stuff.
Right.
It's
his
just
shit didn't stink until he started
he started eating stuff.
Eating like eating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that you were probably right. His shit didn't stink.
Every existing mom on the planet made. Welcome back, Dustin.
Welcome back, Dustin.
I have a great story.
Okay, let's hear it.
I literally just had to duct tape on his ass.
Oh, what was she trying to put in there?
Or keep in there.
No, she was trying to pull out.
Oh,
So
Even weirder.
that's not
She-
how duct tape works.
she thought it'd be a great idea. So the fence next door looks like wood, but it's not. It's fiberglass. So she wanted to get a great picture. So she took her hands and set up on it and got fiberglass shavings in her hands and ass. So I had to take some duct tape and try to
How'd that go?
get a little bit of it, but not all of it.
I thought you were gonna say cactus, like she.
Ooh.
I think
Yeah, same.
I feel like fiberglass would be worse.
I'm
Yeah,
pretty
it's
sure it
real
is.
small. I don't know. I don't think it would happen. Like, I've touched fiberglass shit like that, but my skin's too thick. Like, on my hands. Like, probably not my ass skin, but
Go try it. Go sit on it and see what happens to you.
No,
You guys
I
still
know
got the duct
better.
tape?
I know better. Yeah, she's using like half a roll in there.
Is Anna at least helping her?
No, she's sitting there laughing,
I'd be doing the same. I'd be doing the
watching
same.
me duct tape her ass, and it's too sweaty to really even actually like stick. Like, I don't know. Anyways, that's what I was doing.
Okay.
It's a lot better than what you thought I was doing, which was fucking off, which I wasn't.
We had no clue what you were doing. You just abandoned us.
I mean, I would
didn't
call
mean to. I had
that
to, okay, I had to
fucking
pee.
off.
I figured I was trying to be right back out here, and then I got sidetracked whenever she was like, "I need you to duct tape my ass." Yeah, I'm sorry I missed so much, guys. I'm back. I'm back. What's it like with a big belly? Like, do you really eat for two, or
Dude,
is
people are so nice to you.
it so nice?
People, it was my favorite part of being pregnant is that people were so nice to me for no reason. Oh, it's okay.
So
And they would blame it on me being pregnant. And I'm like, I'm going to ride that wave for the rest of this 9 months. Okay.
Did you experience the same thing, Stephanie?
I don't remember specifically that. I just was completely miserable. A lot of mine, both times really, but I mean,
like morning sickness, eating sickness.
morning sickness for
Swelling.
sure with Steven, but I was just massive. I mean, with Stetson, I gained 80 pounds.
Oh,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
How much was he when he came out?
He weighed 9 pounds, 3 ounces.
Holy.
Oh.
Whoa.
So
That's a
did you have an
big one.
epidural?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you have him
I had
naturally?
an epidural.
Yeah.
So that story
I doubt
is-
that can be natural, right? You've seen how small
No.
Stephanie is.
So,
Yeah,
okay. So I did have an epidural with him, but I went into labor like super early. It was like midnight, and I finally got to the hospital.
Okay, I
about-
thought you were about to say super early, like at 6 months. I'm like, that motherfucker was 9 pounds at 6
no,
months.
no.
Right.
He was.
That's what
he
I was
was
thinking.
That's what I was
technically-
thinking as well.
He was technically 10 days early from my due date at
Oh,
9 pounds, 3
damn.
ounces.
He was fucking eating.
I think you might have lied to them about when you got knocked up.
Well, I didn't really know, but anyway, I was in labor for eternity with him, literally like 24 plus hours. And so I got my epidural at like 10 o'clock that night, and it just so happened to be on my ex-husband's birthday that I went into labor.
And this is your oldest, right?
Yeah, this is my oldest, who is also, fun fact, supposed to be a girl.
Oh,
At this time,
surprise!
we thought we were having a girl.
So the day you went to
Were
labor,
you
you thought
happy?
you were having a girl.
Yeah.
For sure, yes. The day I went into labor, we thought we were having a girl.
Did you have the room decorated and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Pink?
Uh-huh.
Oh, did you?
Oh, wow.
Did you keep it
Pink
that
and
way?
purple, all of the baby clothes and everything that I got at baby
already
showers
had
was
a
geared for
shower,
a girl. Yeah.
Damn.
Did
So
you
he
keep
had
all
a-
that? Yeah, did you keep all that, make him wear it, and keep the room
No,
the same color?
of course not.
So he had an
no,
inning
all
on
of
an
that was
Audi.
changed.
What would his name have been if he was a girl?
Cheyenne was what we had planned. Cheyenne Dawn.
I'm trying to raise a stripper.
Cheyenne.
That's definitely a stripper name.
A little Garth Brooks action. No problem there.
So, got my epidural at like 10. Took naps off and on because it was super late, right? So the doctor kept coming in and checking. Nurses kept coming in and checking. And finally, they were like, you're going to know when it's time to push. So I woke up at like 2, I guess, the next morning. And was like, to my ex-husband, was like, Shane, it's time. And he's like, are you sure? And I was like, it's absolutely time. And so they come in to check me, call the doctor because it's like 2 a.m, right? So he has to get there. Check me, and they're like, oh, yeah, you're ready to go. And I was like, wait a minute. The only thing I cannot feel is my right leg. And they were like, well, it's too late for us to give you another epidural. And the epidural was completely worn off and nothing left in the tube anymore to give me any. So, yes, I did have a 9-pound, 3-ounce baby boy.
With
natural.
no drugs.
With no drugs.
Damn.
But at least you couldn't feel your left leg.
Right. Until... So I had a hard time getting him out, right? Because he's 9 pounds, 3 ounces.
Yeah.
He was almost 22 inches long.
I mean, that would be like taking
massive.
a huge shit.
Yeah,
No,
massive
different
baby.
hole, man.
Well, I know, but I'm just
Yeah.
saying. Just trying to compare it.
So the doctor said it's C-section or deliver him on all fours.
Ooh.
And I was like, well, I'm not
Whoa.
having a C-section,
So are you on all fours?
yeah, I did.
Doggy style.
Rolled my big fat belly ass over. But to that credit, it worked. I don't know what gravity
I
or
didn't know.
whatever is different, but
It's like
it was
the squatty
literally...
potty of birth.
I didn't know that was an
Yes.
option.
I didn't
Yeah.
either. I've never
And
heard
it literally
of that.
was 2 pushes, and he was out.
2 pushes like a dog.
So, hold on. Were you on the bed or you were like on the ground?
No, of course I was on the bed.
Okay, you say, of course you're on the bed. This is the first time I ever learned about somebody
I did not know.
delivering a baby doggy
there's,
style.
There's way too many
Like,
things.
you were
You've got,
delivered the
like-
same way you were made.
True.
Doggy style, motherfucker.
No, I had like heart monitors
that's
and all
middle name
sorts
right
of
there,
stuff all
doggy.
over me. So,
Stetson Doggy.
oh, poor guy.
Yeah, Stetson's new name is going to be Dog.
Poor guy.
What's up,
I
dog?
don't even think he knows that story.
He does now.
So let's tell us other embarrassing stories about him.
Right? Came into this world embarrassing, and we've definitely increased our embarrassment level as we've gotten older.
So obviously Steven's your favorite then.
For sure.
Oh, Lord. So was he
He's still the
delivered?
baby.
Like at least right now he's for sure the favorite. First of
For
all,
sure.
I'm guessing you didn't have to have him doggy style.
No. He was a whole lot easier. But he was still 8 pounds and
Oh, damn.
12 ounces. So he was
Man,
still a
you
big
growing
baby, too.
big. Like,
My poor kiddos.
and was he also naturally?
No, my epidural
Oh.
stuck with him.
Well,
But
that's
still-
not, but still natural.
Yeah, still not a cesarean.
Yeah, no, still not a cesarean,
Oh,
no.
okay.
But the girl across the hall from me, well, backtrack with Stetson's story. There were 3 other girls. So I delivered in a small town hospital with both children. And there were 2 other girls admitted with me
So was
when I had
C-section not
Stetson.
an option?
They probably didn't know how to do it.
Well, maybe not. But anyway, I was so terrified because, I was delivering him with no epidural drugs. So I was not happy. And I was making all the noises. And I do remember,
And you're all on
Dang.
all fours.
yeah, at 4 a.m. at this point. And I remember saying, like, those 2 other girls are not going to want to have their babies.
You were worried about those other girls?
She was scaring them.
They're gonna be like, nope, yeah, we're just gonna call this off tonight. We'll come back tomorrow.
So come to find out, they had gotten discharged. They weren't even there. I was worried about people that weren't even there.
God,
You
that's
were worried
such
about the
a
ghost
female
runners.
thing. Were you making the
terrible.
bird noises while you
No.
were delivering?
Not that I remember.
Oh, I feel like you were probably like barking like a dog.
But with Steven, my anesthesia bring another lady's baby.
Small hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, small hospital.
duty.
And she was literally like, I can see his hair. Do not move. Do not sneeze. Like, my room wasn't even set up to deliver a baby. So
You
the
s-
nurses
you
are
stay
doing
right there.
all of this.
I'm going to get the custodian because this is going to get
That's
messy.
exactly right. Yeah, it's exactly right.
Somebody get the mop in the bucket, please.
So literally, the doctor came from one room, changed, washed, scrubbed up, whatever, to deliver a baby like a minute and a half apart. I mean, it literally was like nothing.
Okay, so Steven was not as traumatic as Stetson.
No.
He came out
For
nice and
six-
smooth.
Yeah, even for 6.5 years apart, which they say if they're greater than 4 years apart, it's like having a firstborn all over again. But for me, that wasn't the case.
Well, you also went the extra mile on your first round, so that probably
sure.
added a few years to that.
Well, with Stetson being as big as he was, I do remember at one of the ultrasounds with Steven, I mean, he was like all stretched out,
It was
arms,
big enough, but they couldn't
legs.
tell if he had a penis or not.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
Right.
because he was so big, there
was that
wasn't enough
big.
room.
His fat rolls were just over
He
that
was just-
photo.
He was an innie, not an outie. That's just
He clearly did
Poor
not
guy.
get dick pics taken while he was inside.
Not
the
at
womb.
that age. Nope, not at that age.
oh shit.
But
Should have had
I
a
will
cell phone
say,
in there. Then you would
I
have
will
known.
say, too, that Stetson, mother's intuition is a real thing. Because while everything was prepped for a girl, when I packed my hospital bag, I told my ex-husband, grab the little boy outfit out of the closet and the yellow blanket. And he was like, why? We're having a girl. And I literally said, just in case.
I feel like you should have
Wow.
named
Big
him
boy.
just in case.
Justin,
Right.
yeah.
Justin.
Justin.
Middle
Just
name
in
Case. He could have been
case.
just in
Justin.
case. Like
Oh, that's perfect.
That would have been great.
Holly, how was your birthing experience? Was it anything like that?
doggy style.
No.
Did you also gain 80 pounds?
No. As a matter of fact, I did not. Went into labor, went to the emergency room, middle
So
of the
you're
night.
full term. It's not like
So the thing was, like, I wasn't emotional or any of that bullshit whenever I was pregnant, but the only time I really cried was I went to the doctor and I thought I told everybody at my job, I was like, I'm going to have a baby. Bye, y'all. See you later. And I went to the doctor and I was planning on being admitted, and they were like, hey, he's not big enough. Come back on Monday. And I was like, I'd mentally prepared myself to have a baby, and that didn't happen. So I went, I was like, okay, fine. But then I went into labor the next day. And I went into labor, just kind of fucked around and did whatever, and eventually went to the hospital. And
hold on. This is the most Holly thing I've ever heard you say. I went to labor, then kind of fucked around, and eventually went to the hospital.
You do that bullshit where they call it nesting, right?
Okay.
Where you're like, oh, I'm going to paint my toenails and I'm going to take a shower. And Stephanie, am I wrong?
No, nesting is a thing,
It's-
but I did the same thing, especially with Steven. It took me forever to get to the hospital.
Yeah.
I was like, I've got
You
time.
Yeah.
never know
Well,
if you're gonna be doggy style or not.
yeah, your
so you
first
gotta be
time
able
took
to
so
be
long.
prepared.
Yeah. I was like, I'm not. So I get there, and as I'm walking up to the little doors, they go, oh no, another one? Because I realized I found out later it was a full moon, which is also a very real thing.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh,
so
full
the
moons are-
maternity ward was incredibly busy, and I was going
maternity,
into labor.
psych, all of it.
Yeah.
They're all full.
Yeah. Well, I was going into labor, all that jazz. Eventually, after they decided to admit me, the lady goes, hey, just let me know when you want your epidural. And I was like, wait. So at 2 seconds later, somebody else popped in the room, and I go, is there any reason I should wait? Because that seems like a crazy thing to wait on. So I'm like, if you want to go ahead and do that, they did it, whatever.
How long does it last?
I don't know.
Not 24 hours.
So like,
I think it depends on the person.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a really true time frame to these. It depends on the person.
Yeah.
so you got to know like it's gonna come pretty quick, right? Like,
Well, no, your
No.
anesthesiologist comes in and checks it.
They keep pushing drugs in there, man. Once they get it in there, they can keep pushing the juice. It's like it's real like great. So, but I could still feel my
That's
left
also
leg.
how babies are made.
Yeah. But they keep, they basically are
pushing
like,
the juice, not stopping the seed.
but they're basic. I'm like, man, I can still kind of feel my left leg. So they actually adjusted mine. They pulled it out, put it back in again.
Also,
Yeah,
how babies are made.
so I had so much like drugs in me. They ended up eventually saying, "Hey, you're not doing the stuff that you need to
Because you're so fucking.
and they like pulled all my guts out on the table or whatever the stuff is. I wasn't
So
there.
could you couldn't
No,
see it?
I
Like,
couldn't
put
see
the
it.
blanket
I
in
was
front of you.
I was so high. What am I supposed to do?
You're like, that looks fun. Let me play with that.
But yeah, they did all the thing. They were like, "You're gonna feel some pressure," and I'm like, "Okay."
No, I feel
But yeah.
nothing.
Yeah. So I had like a 6-pound baby through like the whole, and not the through the cesarean situation, which I highly recommend to any listeners. Go for it. It's really not that bad. So Gabe was born. I slept through most of it.
So was Gabe planned?
Hard no. But
Were you married when you got pregnant?
no.
Were you married before he was born?
Yes.
Okay.
He was a great reason to get married. But yeah, no.
That was Raphael's way of proposing.
Yeah, it was basically. I was like, "Hey, pee on the stick," and if it's
if it says yes, then we're getting married.
let's do it. Yeah, no, it was good, but yeah, Gabe was like small. So one of the funny stories is that we had argued the whole time because he's Raphael, the like 19th or something, and I'm like, I'm not naming my kid that. Stop it. I'm not doing it. And so him and his friend went to where we were living to go pick up the child seat and stuff like that. And I was there, and they came in and they asked me. Gabe didn't have a name for like 2 days while I was in the hospital because we were having debates.
Yeah.
As you can imagine, I probably would, but I was like, they came in the room, and I specifically asked, I was like, so I don't need anybody else to like sign off on this decision. So I could have named him on my own, and I would have named him some real dumb name, but he ended up being a Raphael. I finally collapsed, but I was like, I get the middle name. So I was like, Raphael Gabriel. He goes by Gabe, but
he's not the 20th because you gave him a middle name.
I was like,
so does Raphael have a middle name?
He's Junior, and that's what the thing is. Before him, it was no middle name. So I was like, y'all screwed it up by like changing middle names, so the numbers don't apply once you change the 3 names.
Yeah.
So I was like done with it, and I was like, I'm changing the middle name, and we're dropping the number.
Okay, so because I'm Ricardo Leon the third.
Yeah.
But that's because my grandfather was the first one who migrated here, so he became Ricardo Leon Sr. My dad was junior. He was already born at the time. And then when I was born, I became the third, but I'm actually like the 28th.
So, wait. So are y'all exactly the same name?
Ricardo Leon.
Okay.
Yeah.
No middle name.
No middle name.
Oh, man.
Unless you got 2 names.
Can we make a middle name? We should make a middle name.
You can make a middle name. What would your ideal middle name for me be?
Diego.
You were way too quick on that, first of all.
It's a great little...
Ricardo Diego Leon. I'm not against it.
Yeah, I don't think it's terrible.
It does kind of flow.
RDL3? No?
Holly, I was going to say, when you were talking about Raphael and how you were taking a stance and you were like, no, I'm not going to name him that name. I wish I had with Stetson, and I didn't, because he has a horrible middle name.
It's not horrible.
What is it?
It is a horrible name.
Stetson what?
And
Stetson Resistol?
No, he's the 7th one, so I felt obligated to do it, right? But he is Stetson Archie.
I'm about to put down my fucking
Whoa,
headphones.
Archie is fine.
Archie is a badass fucking
That is
name,
a
first
good
of all.
name.
First of
I
all...
don't like it for mine. I love Archie, but I don't like it for Stetson.
That was my pappy's name, my papa's
right.
name, his dad's name, his dad's name.
So the question really becomes to me is, Archie is a nickname, so it should be like Archibald, and they go by
Archie's
Archie.
a name.
Archie is a name.
I think Archie is a
What
nickname.
you think versus what it is. It's
Yeah,
two different things.
I could be wrong. You're right.
Just like Ricky was wrong on the Cedar thing. I just Wikipedia'd it. False.
Ooh,
I don't think
did
you're right on
It
that.
is. I promise you.
All right.
He asked for the
What's it
fact
say?
check.
I did.
Well, it goes through this. It's Chinese thing. It's not even a Caesar thing. Anyways,
China wasn't
What did you
around
actually
for a long
look up?
time.
All right.
look up the C-section. Hold
Original,
on. Hold on. Let me pull up where it talks about Caesar. Here we go. Pliny the Elder theorized.
Hold
that
on, you're not-
Julius Caesar.
hold on.
Hold on, listen.
No, but your first words didn't make sense.
Theorized that Julius Caesar's name came from an ancestor who was born by cesarean section, but the truth of this is debated. Some stories involve Caesar himself being born from the procedure. This is the almost certainly false, as Caesar's mother, whatever her name is, lived until Caesar's mid-40s. So basically saying that the C-section came about because of the result of the women dying.
Okay.
And they having to take the baby from them, so that's how it became.
Okay, yeah, but how did he get its name?
That's what I told you. It says it's debatable. Look it up. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, so you're telling me I'm wrong, but saying it's debatable.
That's what Wikipedia says. You asked me to look it up. That's what I just
Right.
read to you.
But it's debatable.
Yeah, it's debatable, and you're debating about it.
Part of the internet says that Ricky's right.
Yeah,
See,
it's
part of
debatable.
it. Part of it.
I'm standing by I'm right.
I don't care. Go ahead.
Because I spit those facts without having to look shit up.
I think that
This is the problem with kids having fucking phones these
I
days.
think, I think
man.
Stephanie's wrong because I don't think you can
They
have a
know
kid
it all.
doggy style.
Okay.
You think she would make that up? That
I think
is
she
a-
just wants a cool story.
That is
I've never heard of
ter-
that. Who has heard of that? Nobody.
I
That's
do
a
have people that
terrible
were
thing to make
there.
How many people? You had an audience?
Well,
You had
I
an
mean, all of
audience
the
while you
doctors,
were doggy
nurses,
style?
my ex-husband. I mean, there were people in the room.
Let's call him up.
Okay. Might be a little weird, but okay.
I'm down
Be
for
like,
weird.
hey, was she on all
Hold on.
fours?
And not during, like, when she was having the kid. We don't need to know anything else.
So, Stephanie, were your kids planned?
No.
Neither of them?
Stetson absolutely was not.
Oh, poor guy.
Stephen.
So,
Yes.
Stetson was absolutely not. Why do you say it that way?
Well, just because I was so young, and we had been married 9 months whenever I got pregnant, so we didn't plan on him being here that early. But obviously, we're okay with it. And then Stephen, I didn't necessarily want them to be 6.5 years apart, but I had been off birth control for 2 years, and it took us that long to get pregnant.
Stephen wasn't planned, but wasn't like, oh shit.
But they were already married, so
Yeah, they're already married on both. Both
so
occasions.
that's-
So-
wait, Steven's the second one. Okay,
Yeah.
I get them confused because they both have S names.
Oh, it got even worse because my ex-husband is Shane. I'm Stephanie. So we had Stetson, Stephen.
Oh, so
and
y'all
his-
were basically the Kardashians.
Oh, for sure. His parents were Sally and Steve, and his sister Savannah. So literally, we
Jeez.
were all S's. It was horrible.
So when you agreed to the name, you were down for an S, but you were like, I'm changing the middle name.
Well, he got the middle name. It is Stetson Archie. He likes it. I mean, so there's no issues there. And then we even kept the initials going because they're all SABs for like 6 or 7 generations.
Oh, you should have made it SOB.
Right. And so
Oliver.
Stephen is
I was gonna go
Stephen
Oscar.
Oliver, Stetson Oscar.
Yeah.
that
all
would have
of
been
'em.
smart.
Yes.
That
So
would have been smart.
Oh, but maybe we're not.
Orchie with
But
an
I
O.
feel like we would have been
Orchie.
insulting you. So yeah, it's
Hey.
better that we did.
Orchie's a good.
Good point. Archie's a
But
great
Stephen,
name.
Orchie, yeah.
considering
Or
he's
Orchie.
the second one, is thrilled that he's also included in the initial thing. So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, so he's Stephen Andrew,
Is he V or PH?
PH.
Okay.
The only real way to do it, right?
I don't
For
know.
me,
Gabe is
yes.
Raphael with an F
Hold on. What other way would you spell Raphael?
with a PH.
Yeah, there's a
The same
PH
way
version.
you do.
What fucking lunatic does that? Goddamn white people trying to take Mexican names. That's what it is.
I feel like it's a situation. I mean, that's what it's the same as Steven.
Since he's half Mexican, it should have been Raphael with a PF and the P silent.
Yes.
That way he has best of both, the white person and the Mexican name combined.
I agree. Partially. Jalapeno.
Okay, as moms of teenagers-ish, yeah, teenager for sure.
Yes.
Do y'all have any advice to tell to other moms that are raising babies right now that are eventually going to be teenagers?
Stephanie, you can go.
Don't
Well,
go
I
through their
kinda-
phone.
Well, I think you should go through their phone. I think it's a good, honest check for everybody.
Hold on, do you think they should have a phone? What age should they have a phone?
Oh, that's a hard one
10.
because
10.
yeah, even Steven got one at 7.
Steven.
I think.
It depends on if your parents are divorced and things like
Yeah.
there's multiple.
Needing
There's-
contact. Obviously,
yeah.
the contact. That's
Yeah.
the biggest thing.
There's
is you want
there's
it,
several factors that play into
but
that.
they need a jitterbug. They don't need an iPhone.
The jitterbug?
Yeah, or they can only make calls.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just
there's-
asking.
No, I
I'm
don't
not
know.
a parent.
I've
I'm not
never
a
heard of a
parent.
jitterbug before.
Oh, you
There's
haven't?
age restrictions that you can put on a phone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, but I feel like kids nowadays are smart enough where they can get past that shit. Is that not right?
You're probably right. I would think
mean-
so.
I'm just saying, even if they weren't smart enough, they'd take it to school and tell their friend, and their friend would be like, "Oh yeah, I can do that." Like Ricky. Like if Ricky
well,
had cell phone
probably.
back in
That's
the day,
probably true.
oh, Ricky would fucking hack that shit in a heartbeat.
That's true.
I would have.
Yeah.
100% I would have.
See?
So absolutely, I'm still on board. Go through their phone. I think it's a good practice all the way around. You at least know what's going on, especially in today's world. Second to that, just give an experience. Have the condom talk sooner rather than later. I think I had it 2 weeks prior to when that was necessary. So I barely made it, but I made it. And then the real portion of it is I'm obviously a mom of just boys, and I didn't realize that boys have just as many hormones as girls. So be patient with them too.
What do you mean by that?
The crying thing for mine was a real deal.
With your oldest?
Yes, absolutely. Drop of a hat, he would cry. Especially if he got angry, he would cry. And I didn't realize that was a thing. So just be mindful that it could be with boys too, just as much as girls.
I think that's that's based on different individuals. Like, my brother-in-law would not shed a tear for anything. Me, on the other hand, I could be, if I eat an edible and I'm watching a show that makes me happy, I'll start crying just because I love it. Right? I've seen Dustin cry 3 times today.
Oh, today?
Yeah, just from laughing.
If I get to laughing too hard, I fucking start
Yeah.
crying.
And it's not like crying, but tears come out because he's laughing so hard.
Yeah.
Stephanie, got any more mom stories you want to tell?
Not that I can think of off the top of my head that wouldn't completely mortify my children.
What's one of your favorite memories? Or one of the favorite things you've done with your kids?
Let me think on that one.
Okay. Holly?
So with y'all having
Yeah.
kids,
Listen, we've already said I have a terrible memory
Do you have any good memories of your it?
of it. No, I have none.
Raphael.
No. I'm
The P
no.
is silent.
Yeah, I don't have memories
So-
in general.
what was y'all's favorite show to watch with the kids?
Like, what was a kid's favorite show?
No. Obviously, if you get to watching the shit that your kids watch, you start liking something.
I don't think that's the case.
Well, I mean, I think that nowadays it
Yeah, I
has to
think
be.
as parents, well, at least in my case, if the kids like it, then
You're
that's
forced-
what we watch.
You're
Exactly.
forced
and
you're
it's-
forced to watch it.
So
You
is
don't
there-
like
well,
it.
it's not really a forced thing. It's just it's what you do because you do things for your kids, and you want to see them happy. So of course we watch. I mean, I've seen plenty of Star Wars movies that I didn't particularly care, or Marvel comic movies that weren't necessarily my favorite. The Masked Singer with Steven is the most common thing right now, and it's not absolutely my favorite, but it's something he wants to do with me every single week, so we watch it.
You gotta be the cool mom.
I mean, you got to have that balance. At least I try to have that balance. And I think Holly probably would say the same as a single mom, where you want to be friends but respected as that mom role too. So kind of working in tandem where they want to be able to talk to you and have an open book conversation with you about whatever, which is that kind of friendship establishment boundaries with being respectful that, hey, this is still my mom, so I can't backtalk and I can't, all those things too.
Okay, so going off that, has either of your kids ever done something to where you had to stop before you lost it and you felt like you were just going to beat the shit out of them?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can y'all think of a moment that this has happened? No?
Yes, my
Okay.
children mow my yard now, and they do a horrible job of it. And
That's
Stetson in
smart.
particular doesn't like to edge, and so I literally called somebody the other day, my brother actually, to try to see if he could come and get a good edge line for him. And the text literally read, "Will you do me a huge favor and save me from prison because I'm going to kill my children because they cannot edge my yard appropriately." I mean, it's a bit extreme, but it's legit what I said.
Okay. Holly?
I'm on the edge of homicide,
Oh,
24/7 with
Damn.
a 15-year-old. I have a 15-year-old, man. It's hard work, man. You got to keep that, you're always walking a crazy line. So I can't think of anything terribly specific, but there are minutes.
I love the difference between the moms with grown-up kids that are out of the house and gone.
Yeah, they're so happy.
And moms now are like, oh, I definitely have a favorite.
Yeah.
Fuck that kid. I want to kill him all the time.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
I
So I
love
heard
him a lot. Like, I love him so much, but every once in a while I'm like, hey, I'm going to punch you right in the dick. And I tell him that all the time. Not all the time. I'm like, hey, man, I'm gonna, yeah.
That's one of my favorite things you say. Because it's hilarious.
I mean, it gets his attention.
Yeah. Stephanie, what were you going to say?
Teenage years are super hard. Like, infant years are hard, but teenage years is a whole new level of hard.
I would imagine.
I mean, they think that they obviously know everything. They think that they're grown. And then especially, Holly, get ready, from like 15 to 18. Like, it has been the hardest thing I've ever had to go through with raising children, is this age bracket, for real.
So
Hey.
do you think it'll be better on the second go-around?
God, I hope so. I hope that I have learned enough going through it to kind of know what works, what doesn't work, how to handle
Yeah.
certain situations.
When to push and when to pull.
Yeah.
Well, the state of Texas allows you to beat them all the way up until they're 18 years old. I'll just tell you that.
I did
Well,
not
I can
know
no longer
that.
beat my oldest one then.
I promise you. There's been plenty of times where an 18-year-old has called and said,
An 18-year-old or under 18-year-old? That's what he does when he asks a question.
hold on.
He's got to
It's weird.
prepare.
It's weird because it's up until you're 18, yeah.
Okay.
So,
Like a
I'm sorry.
17-year-old
So,
call.
yeah, you're right. So, a 17-year-old called. Or they're not 18 yet, but they can still be, if you're 17, you can still be
Yeah. Try it.
prosecuted under a. It's weird with different laws. But anyway, state of Texas allows parents to discipline their kids up until.
He's
till
also
they're
told me
18
before
years
that
old.
you can have sex with a 17-year-old and it's legal. I don't know why he would
Well, that's what I'm saying.
make that
It's-
state.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, yeah.
Different laws is a different age. It's 17 or 18. So, but with parenting for sure, it's up until they're 18. So they can be 17. Because like I busted some kids down there. They were out past dark, and all the 18-year-olds. I was like, all right, y'all are good. 17-year-olds need to call your mom. Like, sorry. Yeah, your chicks get to leave because they're 18, but I need to call your mom, make sure that she knows where you're at. Like, and is it bad? I mean, probably, but at the same time, it's like,
Where
no.
are you going to draw the line?
Exactly. So, and
Well, let's go
state of
back to
Texas
the you can
draws
beat
a line.
you can beat a 17-year-old.
You can. Now, like abuse wise, obviously, you have to report it. But like, if he's like getting out of line and you like fucking pop him in the face or whatever, discipline.
Okay, good to know.
No.
Just saying. I'm just saying. It's hard for him to be able to call and say, "Hey, my mom's abusing me," and they're like, "Well, what did she do?" And he explains the situation. You're like, "No, she's disciplining you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There's nothing there."
All right, I have a weird question.
I'm just
Okay.
saying.
At what point do you stop giving out the age of your baby in months?
12.
12 months?
Yeah.
I have
A
heard it
year?
go way past that.
I mean, maybe 18, but at
Yeah.
that point, you're like, oh, a year and a half. Like,
Then that makes the most sense. But I've heard people say
Yeah.
like, "Oh, he's 24 months old."
I'm with Ricky. I've heard this too.
Yeah, he's 24,
He's
26
26
months old. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
so he's 2. Just say he's
Yeah.
fucking 2.
he's 2
Because at some point you stop measuring by the fucking month.
month.
Like when you're at work, you fucking deal by the hour. But when you're on vacation, you deal by the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like shit, we have to go home in 2 days. Shit, I don't get off for another fucking 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think that's a very similar thing. Because when you're at work, you hate your life. So when you have a baby, like you hate your life. It's been 24 goddamn months,
Well, nowadays,
and I haven't got a fucking night of sleep.
all the moms sit there and they have the
I
blanket.
assume I don't have kids.
They have the blanket that has like the 26
And
months.
it looks
and
like
they
a
take
fucking clock.
Yeah, and they take a picture every time their kid for every month, and it's
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, we're 28 months old. Okay, what? And then you have to do the math. You're like, the fuck, like that's
Oh,
he's walking.
yeah. When I see that shit on like Facebook and Instagram, I don't do the math. I just scroll on. That's not true. I love my friends that have kids. I try to like all their photos because I do appreciate seeing my friends and family post pictures of their kids because kids are cool.
Yeah,
I just don't care to have any of my own.
especially those 15-year-olds.
But-
Same.
15-year-olds
Same.
are hard.
All right, y'all want to talk about anything else?
This is what I would say. Like, and you can not include this if you want, but like, I think in general, it's good to remember that like your kids are humans, and so it's like you as a human are fallible. And so my biggest I started from a very young age to let my kid know that I'm fallible. Hey, I'm sorry I screwed that up. Hey, man, I totally screwed up, like whatever. I feel like letting your kids know
Sorry,
that
I
you're
forgot your
fallible.
birthday. Yeah.
It could be. It could be worse. It could be better. But like just letting your kids know that you're human and fallible, I think that they kind of respect that a little bit more than knowing that it's like you're on this pedestal of you don't, you know,
Everything
I
you
am
do is
the
right.
law.
Yeah.
I am the law, and you will not question me because I know everything and I am perfect. It's like my philosophy is let my kid know I'm fallible because therefore mistakes are okay.
So, Stephanie, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'll agree and say that even when I have gotten onto my kids really hard, I've come back and always apologized for whatever it was, saying something out of line or just getting too heated in the moment. And I've even gone so far as to been like, how would you have liked for me to handle that situation differently? What outcome would have been better for you to receive that information than the way that I acted, which
I've
has helped us a
100%
lot.
done that.
I never got that option. I never got that option.
And maybe it's a 2000s
Yeah,
kind
yeah.
of solution, but I think it's like trending in the right direction of like, hey, we're all humans, and sometimes like parents they can make mistakes, and they can. I think it's okay to let kids know that.
Are you in a rush to go? Because I have another topic I want to talk about.
I'm good.
I got a few more minutes.
I do.
Video games.
Oh,
Okay.
man. Mine are all about it.
They're all about it. And I always play video games too, but it's different now. Because when I was a kid, and same thing when we grew up, we all wanted to go out and find our friends and be with our friends away from our house.
Mm-hmm.
But now a lot of times they're meeting up via video games. They have the headset on. Fortnite, whatever it is. Yeah, Call of Duty, Fortnite, all the other. What do you play, Dustin?
Call of Duty.
Yeah. How much lenience do you give them when they're playing their video games on their attitudes, their language, and stuff like that? Does that make sense? Does this question make sense? And the only reason I'm asking, I know Stephanie's told me she's heard her kids say some horrible things.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So-
and if I hear it, I stop it. Like,
Yeah.
It's absolutely a no if I hear it.
I haven't had this experience at all, and he's self-monitored, I guess, so I don't have any
But
experience having to be like,
Okay.
you better shut your mouth.
But Gabe's kind of the same way. He plays games.
Yeah,
But he's also does sports.
yeah.
So
He doesn't play a lot of games.
He's not a big gamer?
No.
Like, not a big on video games?
No.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I just know with Stephanie and her kid, she's not in the computer.
You keep pointing over there, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm not in the
every
computer.
once in
My
a
name
while.
is on the computer, but I'm not in the computer.
Every time I talk about you, I point at you.
You did point.
Yes,
It's not
my
just you.
kids,
It's everybody that's on the feed.
Yeah.
my kids are huge gamers. Would prefer to be on that than doing just about anything else. And I do think that is kind of that whole technology conversation we were having earlier. Like you said, Ricky,
Okay.
we had to actually like physically go out to be with our friends, whereas now they literally have their friends at their fingertips.
It was like, I saw you
Call
at school.
them, saw me at school,
They were
right?
like, what are you doing later? I'll come pick you up. I mean, that was our life when
Absolutely.
we were, in high school.
Well, like Holly said, they can call and see each other on the phones now. I mean,
You sounded so
Stetson-
old when you said that.
Well,
They can call and
Stetson
see each other on the
literally-
phones now.
Stetson literally came in here earlier, and he's got his headset on, and him and his buddy Bryce, they're just talking on the phone. And he's like, "Hold on, Bryce," and I'm like, "Seriously?" I mean, like, it's just crazy.
That's also exactly what we're doing with you right now.
Well, true, but we planned this.
We did plan this. We planned this a few days
So
in
are we
advance.
still old school?
Are we still old school because
No.
we planned it?
Well, I'm just saying.
No, I feel no. We've adapted. We still go out and see each other, but it's also just a text. Hey, beers.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like
Right.
on Thursday. Let's go have beers.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing later?
And you're sitting there waiting for somebody to show up to pick your ass up.
Oh, always, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he does do that still. Roles have reversed. I now pick him up, whereas before he used to pick me up.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Dustin's always picked me up. I don't know. Okay, what else about moms y'all want to talk about? What's your favorite thing about being a mom? Do you have a favorite thing?
Holly's like nothing right now. Absolutely nothing.
We have teenagers, so nothing.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I'm so brainwashed. My kid, I love most of the time, I love everything about him. I'm so proud of him, and like I wish he just knew like the magic that brought into your life. I mean, it's like you're the greatest. Man, it's hard. Kind of like Vicky was saying earlier of like they retract from you in a way that prepares you for them to actually leave.
I would
And
agree, yeah.
she was, and I was like, yeah, because they kind of turn into assholes, and you're like, there's the distance makes the heart grow fonder, but when you get a rent car that's kind of badass and he likes to like you a little bit so he can drive the rent car, that's my favorite part of being a mom because I get to like accommodate his silly requests. Eventually, the kids, like you said, when they come back around, I know right now with my kid, it's like if he goes away with his dad for a few days, it's like distance makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah.
So every once in a while, I'm like, hey, baby daddy, you want to take my kid? He does not miss me enough. And then, like, you give it a solid 4 days, and it's like, okay, he appreciates me a little bit more. And I think that's, I mean, I love that.
Do you experience that as well, Stephanie?
For sure, yeah. I like the fact that my kids leave sometime because I need that alone time for me now. I've gotten used to it, to some degree because it was hard years ago, but now I kind of enjoy just having that space for a little bit, and then they come back. But also to your mom's point, I like that I can see the different changes and different stages of that parenting relationship with people, right? So like Jerry and Brenda and the twins are obviously super dependent on them, and they know nothing else other than mom and dad give me food, change me, bath time, all of those things, right? To where like Steven's age now, preteen, where he's getting a little bit of independence but does still need mama. And then Stetson, who sometimes is too cool but still appreciates the relationship, to the older generations, like older age group, I should say, Ricky, your sisters and things like that, where it's more of like that friendship type, and it's just different. And I'm in a way looking forward to that relationship because I am having to ride his ass so much sometimes that I do look forward to that difference for him at least coming soon.
And if we all look back, except maybe Dustin, but I know for me and you, Stephanie, for sure, when we were that age, we were little assholes too.
Oh, 100%.
I don't know how my mom put up with me. She just did.
Same.
Yeah, I was an asshole.
Were you?
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine that.
Yeah. I mean, I think everybody is.
The only reason that I am so glad that I don't have girls is because of myself. I think some of my teenager problems are generally karma in nature.
Oh, I got a good question for you. So, Stephanie, your kids are 6 years apart, right? Ish.
Right. Yeah, 6.5.
So you had a good time between Stetson and Steven.
Yep.
To where you're not dealing with like two toddlers at the same time. You have a 6-year-old and you have a newborn.
Right.
Could you imagine having twins?
Well, that's not a fair question. Yes, I can because my younger brother and sister are twins.
Okay. How much younger are they than you?
5 years.
Okay.
So I vividly remember them being around. And I did plenty of diaper changes. I was the entertainment while dinner was getting cooked.
Yeah. Let me run this back.
You were a great, like, you had a preface to being a mom.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So Brenda couldn't join us today. She got tied up at work, so we'll do something with her tomorrow, hopefully. But imagine not having that experience that you have, Stephanie, and her being just a mom and just having twins.
Yeah, having no help.
Like, she doesn't have an older sibling to help around with
Not
things.
that Jerry doesn't help. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
no, Jerry obviously helps. But
Yeah, but just the parent.
they don't have
just parents in general.
They don't have a 5-year-old Stephanie to change diapers.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. It would be definitely overwhelming, and I could see how it would be. I mean, even to the point that I told you Stetson was 9 pounds 3 ounces, so my first sonogram, I was measuring too big already, because they measure from, like, rib cage down to your pelvic bone to see how big you are, to kind of check your due date. And
they weren't
I
even
was
measuring his penis.
Yeah.
Right. And I was measuring
wasn't on
too
the
large
scales.
at that point. And so the doctor was like, let's go do a sonogram and make for sure that there's not 2 babies in here. And I was like, if there are, you're going to have to give me some medication because I'm going to legit drive off a cliff. I'm not even joking. I have been through that and I don't want to do it.
You've been through it, right?
Yeah.
And I guess,
So, yeah, I could totally see how that would be overwhelming, exhausting to a different level, for sure.
Holly, as a mother of just one, could you imagine having a second one?
Hell no.
Hell to the no.
Would you ever have
Hell no.
Would you ever have another kid?
Hell no. Hell no. Man, to some degree, like, I look at the kid and he's, there are attributes to only children that aren't always positive because they're a little bit more self-absorbed and stuff like that. But, at the end of the day, I think you try to balance that with their friend group and making sure that they have the empathetic nature, whether with their friends or their other family members or things like that. But yeah, no.
They know how to share.
Yeah, my kid doesn't know how to share, and I had a brother, and I don't prefer sharing. So, I mean, it's kind of. Yeah, but it's all those millennial attributes where it's like I feel like I've raised a millennial.
I think you kind of have.
I kind of have, even though he's not. He has those like attributes because he's an only child, but yeah.
So I know both of y'all's kids, and I think y'all have done great with them. They're both. Gabe, Stetson, Steven, all 3 of them are very respectful, very kind, and just they have good manners. Like they're good people. And I think that says a lot about you guys.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah.
Have y'all ever had any other parent try to intervene to tell you how to parent?
Oh, obvious. Yeah.
Like
People do that.
Outside.
No, like strangers.
Like strangers. Like somebody you don't even know.
No.
Like
Not
family.
that I remember.
Like family, I can see, if they say something, whatever. But like somebody, your kid's acting a certain way and somebody says, hey, you need to do this, or, like, no, shut the fuck up. It ain't your kid.
I don't think mine have gotten to that point, but I can.
Because you're a good parent.
Yeah.
That shows something. There you go.
I don't think
That's
mine
my point,
have,
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I've gotten more compliments that my kids are, like Ricky said, have manners and very respectful than I have that they're assholes.
Hey, but Stephanie, the funny part about when I get those compliments is usually at the peak of his assholeness of like, oh, really? And it reassures me that at least he's not the way he is with me.
Absolutely.
In front of other people. And it's like, absolutely, he respects other people. He just tests those boundaries with the parents and whatnot. And
Well, you think it's because he's with you more than he's with anybody else? Like, he's just like...
Comfortable.
Yeah.
So like when...
Hard times.
When Steve... Oh, go ahead.
Sorry. My best compliment that I got was post-divorce, where my ex-mother-in-law would still text me like happy birthday and happy Mother's Day. And on one specific Mother's Day, she texted me and said, happy Mother's Day. You're doing so good with the boys. They're respectful and just all of the complimentary things. And that she ended it with, I attribute that to you because their dad does live 2.5 hours away and doesn't see them as often, obviously, as I do. And that was the biggest compliment to me because that was my ex-mother-in-law who doesn't need to say things like that to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She could easily just boost up her son and but actually giving you that compliment saying she understands how you're framing these kids.
Yeah.
Framing, is that the right word?
And I would say it was like 2 or 3 years post-divorce. So it was enough time where I was like, wow, that actually like still resonated with me.
Yeah, because you're kind of still you're out of the picture, but like she's recognizing that you obviously are the biggest part of these kids' lives.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
So I know my personal experience with Stephanie 2 years ago when Steven was turning 10. It was during COVID, so everything was shut down.
Yeah,
like we were limited on who we could see, who we could hang out with, and she's like, "Hey, it's Steven's birthday. Do you want to come hang out?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Get there, and he's open the gifts. Like, sorry, buddy, I didn't bring you anything because just kind of last minute I showed up, and he looked at me and said, "The fact that you're here is all that matters."
Huh?
I was like, that for a 10-year-old to say that
Right.
is like, holy shit, this kid is legit. And that's when I was like, I wonder if he has like inner thoughts or if he just says what's coming out. Because for a while I thought he was one of those like 4% that didn't have an inner dialogue.
I think that was
Why did you
age
say that,
driven
Ricky?
at that point.
It might have
No,
been.
but that was super sweet.
was super
Not
sweet,
a
yeah.
lot of kids are like they would have just been like,
Or-
and they would have made some like weird noise and moved
awkward.
on.
Or simply said, it's no big deal, it's okay, and not
Whatever.
followed up by saying, you being here is all that matters.
Yeah.
Like, just that statement that he made is like, okay, he's a cool kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, good job at being moms, guys.
Thank you.
Y'all have done really well.
Gals.
Good job at being moms, gals. Would y'all prefer to be called guys or gals?
He, she's.
I think guys is what you've always said, so it's kind of weird.
I
hearing
like
gals.
guys.
Right?
I'm fine with the gals.
You're fine with gals, but you like guys.
I like guys, gals. I've heard
Think
that
we're
people
getting
have
off
changed to
a little bit.
folks.
That's gonna be a punchline on that one. I like guys,
I've
gals,
I've heard that folks is a good one.
folks.
Folks is my favorite one.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, folks.
Hey, what was? There was a word that you said. Yules.
yeah,
Yules.
I did.
That's not a real word.
No. I did the singular version of y'alls
Yules.
and called someone a yules.
How is it
Okay.
not just y'all?
No,
Well, I mean,
I
that's
don't
a
know.
logical thing.
It
but
just what came.
it just came out of his
Oh,
mouth.
It's
it
what
just
came out of my mouth.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
We were talking and he said Yules, and Elena was like, "What?"
Like, that doesn't make sense. Like, you're right, it doesn't. But fuck it, yules.
It's something you made up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's something I'm not even made up. It just came out.
Yeah.
There's probably a word that's been in my head for a while, and now it's publicized for everybody else to use if they want to.
Yeah.
Feel free to take it if y'all want to, guys, or folks, or yules. All right, I think we're gonna wrap this up.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
was
loved
just
having y'all on. I greatly enjoyed it. I'm sad Brenda couldn't be on with us because I think that would have added a nice little
Me
touch to this.
too.
But it'll be well, we might be able to do something with her tomorrow, and maybe we'll call one of y'all if y'all want to be on with her.
Just let me know.
Okay, y'all. Anything else y'all want to say before y'all go?
Stephanie, I hope your kid stops puking.
Thank you. It's been fun. Welcome to momhood, right?
There you go.
All right, love all of y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all
It's been a
too.
blast.
All right.
Hey,
Happy
guys.
Mother's
Thanks.
Day.
Happy Mother's
You too,
Day.
Holly.
Oh wait, do y'all have any Mother's Day plans?
I'm going to go gamble on some horses.
Nice. I
My
forgot y'all do that
family's
for
coming
Mother's
to
Day.
town.
Hell yeah.
My mom and dad are coming down on Sunday, so we're gonna go spend it with my grandparents.
From Oklahoma.
Oklahoma.
Are you gonna be right down the road?
Yeah, I'll be right down the road.
Oh, nice.
Maybe
From the
we'll-
studio.
Maybe we'll come see you.
Should. They would like it.
I don't want to crash that party. I mean, I
Alright,
do, but I'm not
gotcha.
going to. All right, Stephanie, thank you for jumping on
You're welcome.
the buy here, pay here RV.com clean feed. Holly, thank you for jumping on the jerky.com roundtable.
I like it.
Love you guys. There's more for this episode. We're just not recording it right now.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
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 Funky Picnic is a locally owned and operated brew pub located off of Bryan Avenue in the heart of Fort Worth.
At Funky Picnic, we serve specialty beers that are all brewed in-house.
Hey, Sam, do y'all serve food?
Yeah, we have a full menu. Appetizers, salads, dinner plates, burgers, and sandwiches. We also have a daily special. You can get a cheeseburger and your choice of our Kolsch, Mexican lager, or Hefeweizen for only $10 every day.
Follow the Funky Picnic Gram to stay up to date on new beer releases and any future events, from trivia to drag show.
To schedule an event or private party, check out the form on our website at funkypicnicbrewery.com.
Funky Picnic Brewery, because all moms love a good Mexican lager.
Hi, I'm Elena Sims, a Vice President at Community National Mortgage. I'm here to take care of all of your lending needs to finance your next home. Whether you're purchasing an existing home or working with a builder, I can help. For application information, you can visit my Facebook page at TX Lending Made Easy.
Elena Sims, NMLS 1193345.
Your mom's favorite equal housing lender.
Hello.
Hey, you're on the Sims and Leon podcast.
Oh yeah.
So do you know who our guest is?
I it sure sounds. Are you asking me or Jerry?
Jerry.
Oh.
No. Who?
I don't know. Give some clues.
So give me a clue who you might
Hold
be.
on. Do you know
What?
our phone guest? Do you know who we're talking to?
She
yes,
said
I know
Jerry.
who we're talking to.
She
Oh,
said
I
Jerry.
didn't hear.
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
I was too busy trying to.
Oh, yeah, you were
work it
fucking
out.
with
Sorry.
her.
Oh yeah.
Aunt Jerry or Uncle Jerry?
I know you as Uncle Jerry.
Oh,
Well, that kind of gives it away.
really?
Really?
Bridget?
Yeah. So,
That does not give it away.
No.
no, but I am your niece. One of them.
Oh, this is scary. I've got a lot.
And and my father, you recently told a story about him missing a testicle.
Oh,
One nut.
Ashley,
Yeah. Ding ding ding.
the one nut father.
The one nut father. That's what I
Yeah.
should have said. That's better.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Ashley, what's new? Are you pregnant again?
Oh God no.
What?
God, no. Don't put that out in the universe.
2 or 3? What do you have? I can't remember.
Just the two. Just the two.
Okay. So
Yeah.
when are you getting pregnant again?
No,
Maybe
I'm not.
tonight if
I'm
she's
not.
lucky.
Oh, tonight.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Negative.
No. So what's new,
No,
girl?
I'm good with the two. One of each. You know, it's perfect.
Oh.
Okay, so we're planning. We kind of just threw you into this, Ashley. We're doing a Mother's Day special episode, and so
Okay.
we're calling all of our fun moms, and you're one of them.
Yes, thank you. I'm
So-
glad you consider me a fun mom.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
So we decided.
Thank you.
We decided to go ahead and do this recording right now. You got time for
Okay.
that? Like 10, 15 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Our plan was to
You might hear kids running around in the background at some
Hey,
point.
that's
but-
even
That's
better.
perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's even better.
Yeah.
You might. Let me rephrase that. You said you might. It threw me off. We had planned on giving everybody a kind of a heads up on, so you could plan out a story or whatever you could think about a little bit, so you're kind of on the spot.
Mhm.
So if you don't like how it goes, we can always re-record.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. Do you want to ask a question? You want me to go?
You go ahead.
Do you have any memories? Let's start off with how old are your kids?
So I have a 6-year-old boy and a 4-year-old girl.
Okay, so 1 boy, 1 girl, 6 and 4.
Mhm.
Which one's older? Oh, you said boy. 6-year-old boy.
Boy's older.
Okay. Which one is more adventurous, the boy or the girl?
The boy for sure. Yeah.
Have you ever had like an
Yeah.
oh shit moment where like, what the fuck is going on with this kid right now?
Pretty much daily with him. He's like the Energizer Bunny. He literally never stops. I mean, he's constantly on the move. And he's my accident prone child. We haven't had any kind of like super bad scare yet, but he's just rambunctious. So he's constantly just running around, and he's my trouble kid. He's a lot like me, unfortunately.
Just so he doesn't wind up with one nut.
He said, yeah, is that so he doesn't wind up with one?
Yeah,
nut?
a lot like me and his papa. Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Okay. So you haven't had any like hospital runs or scares like that?
No. Luckily, I have not had to do any of those.
Good. So what about with your daughter?
My daughter, she's gonna be like me when I'm grown. She's fierce. She's very fierce and sassy. She's pretty much the boss of every situation.
Okay.
And she'll let you know it, but she's not as adventurous as he is. She's a little more timid when it comes to certain situations.
So since you've been a mom, what is your number one most favorite? I want to say memory, but not like the best. That might be not the best way to say it. Do you know what I'm trying to ask here? Like, what is your favorite story, memory, situation that has happened with you and one or both of your kids?
Other than childbirth.
Other than becoming a mom.
Yeah. Okay. So I will say this does have to include childbirth of my daughter, but I will say when my son met her for the first time, that was super sweet. He really didn't know what to think because at the time he wasn't even 2 when I had her. But it was super sweet because he was like trying to be really careful with her, almost like she would break. And even just to get close to her, he was really hesitant. But I loved that moment because the meeting was super special, of course.
Okay, so it was kind of a very
Yeah.
cool moment seeing your 2-year-old meet the baby.
Yes,
And
and,
just naturally-
he just was. He didn't know what to think, really.
What was the scariest moment of being a mom?
Probably when my
Figuring
son
who the
got-
father was.
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
trying to determine. No, probably the first time my son got croup. I don't know if y'all know
Oh,
what
yeah.
croup is.
Got what?
So it's called croup, and he
Like
woke
a-
up one night. And
Like the little tree on that one show?
No, that's Groot, bitch.
Oh,
Groot.
that's great.
Coughing.
Yeah, he had croup and stridor, but he woke up.
that sounds like
and he
two
literally-
friends.
I know, but it sounded like he was barking. It's
Sesame
literally a
Street.
barking. It's like a respiratory
Oh, like kennel cough.
infection kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like kennel.
So he woke up. Yeah, he woke up barking. Literally, I thought there was a dog in the room.
Oh
He
no.
woke up barking, and I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And of course, it's coming from him. And I'm like, "What in the world?" I literally called my mom because I was like, "Listen to his cough." I mean, it freaked me out. Literally, my heart dropped. I had no idea what was going on, and she's like, "Ashley, it's croup," and I'm like, "I don't even know what the hell that is." I'm like, I'm like yelling at her, like, "What
Hold
do
on.
I do?"
So is your mom in the medical field?
She is not, but she's a mom. I mean,
But
she's
she's
just
a mom.
she's great. Yeah, I mean, she just knows. So I just called her. I mean, it was like 2 a.m. I didn't care.
Okay.
So, but no, that was super scary. And he's had it a couple times since then. But the minute I hear it, I'm like, oh, it's croup. We're fine. Yeah, it's okay. Put him in a steam shower. All good. And he usually gets over it, but
So it happens. It's like a reoccurring thing. I think Aunt Jerry has croup
it
cough right
can
now.
be. Yeah, it sounds like somebody might have it there.
Barking
I have it's old man cough.
Oh, very similar to croup or
No,
kennel
no,
cough.
mine's due to throat traumatization.
Oh, I don't need to know about your throat traumatization. So
Is it from singing?
No,
Oh, it's not from, your throat traumatizing is not from singing?
no, playing the skin flute.
Oh, a musical
yeah, you're asking
instrument.
too many
Yeah.
questions now.
I know. There's a reason for that.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
But yeah, no. So I lied to you earlier. We did go to the hospital for that,
Okay.
and he did get steroid shots because he had stridor, which caused him. I guess that made it harder for him to breathe. And so, anyways, we did make that trip.
So how often do his friends Coop and Strider come visit?
It's only been
It's-
like 3 times,
It's
luckily.
croup, not coop. Croup
Yeah,
and
croup.
spider.
My bad.
Get the names right.
Croot
Yeah.
and Spider.
Croup.
That's okay.
What did I say?
Croot.
Oh,
I have
we
a
got,
speech
I
impediment.
don't know.
we got live feed of the mom in action.
Is that Croot or Spider?
Yeah, see, they're asking questions about yogurt and snacks. This is a
Is that
common occurrence.
is that like your daily routine now? It's like snacks. We just got to figure out what snacks they want.
Oh, absolutely, snacks. Yeah, absolutely. My life revolves around snacks.
What snacks do they prefer, and what snacks do they get?
They prefer snacks, which they think are snacks, but it's actually candy. They don't get that very often. But snacks they do get are chips or maybe fruit.
Okay, like what kind of chips? Like Flamin' Hot
Oh,
Doritos?
sun chips. They love sun chips. They love Funyuns, actually.
Hold
Ooh,
on.
Funyuns are
Funyuns.
Man, I haven't
Oh.
had Funyuns in a minute.
You don't like them?
My daughter's right here telling me goldfish.
Goldfish. I was about to say
I like,
goldfish.
I like
Yes.
the goldfish. I like the goldfish.
I feel like goldfish can be eaten at any age. Like, there's not an age limit on goldfish.
Yeah.
We need to do a segment
Goldfish and Cheez-It.
But
Yeah.
there's
Jesus.
an age
Where it's at.
minimum.
Is there?
Yeah, you don't want to feed goldfish to a 2-month-old.
Okay.
They'll choke to death.
I mean, yeah, not like a baby, but
I'm
I'm
starting to assume
talking
there's not.
to Dustin.
Ooh, I got brother
Dustin, you know,
first.
Elena's husband,
And Ricky.
and Ricky,
And
and
Oh,
Jerry.
he said
my
of course.
Uncle Jerry.
Did he say of course?
Yeah.
Okay, I got another question for you about your 4-year-old. So
Okay.
she's 4. So
Mhm.
half of her life she's been exposed to the pandemic. How has that been different
yeah,
than
sure.
than raising your first child?
You know,
So I feel like between like
I'm
1 and 3 years old is very influential, right?
It is, yeah. Gosh, I mean, there was a big difference when it came to daycare for sure because we
yeah.
couldn't go in the schools. So I would say like, we briefly met like her daycare teacher because of course they both they grew up and they went to daycare since they were 11 weeks old because we both worked full time. But we didn't get to go inside. We didn't really get to see her classroom or anything like that. And so that was a big difference because with my son, I was in and out of the classrooms. I very much knew his environment and I didn't really know hers during that time. I mean, now we can go in and stuff, but I think it would have been really different if I actually gave birth to her during the pandemic. So I can't say there was a huge disconnect just because she was a little older, but there was a little difference, yes. So, yeah, but sure. And I think mainly
during that time, she still got to go to daycare. I think that's kind of a big deal.
Yes, thank God, she still got to go to daycare. But I will say their favorite trips were like grocery trips. Like kids are super easy in that they think anything's an adventure is if they're getting out of the house.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, whenever it was just, right in the heart of it, we didn't take them anymore, and so they.
Oh shit.
They didn't like that. They were always asking when they could go to the store, and we're like, nah, we don't. You guys don't need to go. I'm picking up groceries or whatever. And that was something that they had a hard time with, actually, because they didn't get to go out and do as many things.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. All right, Dustin, you ask some questions. Ask her to get some yogurt.
We don't have any more.
So what's the favorite flavor of yogurt around there?
Well, currently we are having a debate about yogurt that has M&Ms in it.
Hold on.
Is there a yogurt that has M&Ms?
Isn't that called a Blizzard?
Well, no, it's like it's a yogurt you buy at the store, and the top of it has some M&Ms, and you just dump it in the yogurt.
Okay. So instead of adding like fruit to your yogurt, you're adding candy to your yogurt.
Yeah. So it's like a kind of a parfait. Oh, Jell-O. We do have Jell-O. You can have Jell-O.
Okay, so the Jell-O you have, are they in little cups like Bill Cosby used to sell?
Yes.
Or give to his women at the bar?
No, that would take too much work to drug Jell-O shots. He drugged the cappuccino at the machine he bought.
It's not too much work to drug Jell-O shots.
Oh, you sound like you had experience.
Not that I would
Let's
know
hear more
anything
about that.
Yeah, let's hear more about these Jell-O shots.
But they are eating undrugged Jell-O currently.
I'm glad it's undrugged. So hold on. When you say undrugged, it sounds like it was drugged, and then you remove the drugs.
Non-drugged.
Or maybe I left them. I don't know. early bedtime.
All right. Now let me ask you this: when they go to bed, what is your favorite snack?
Yeah.
Cereal.
Ooh.
Definitely
really?
cereal. Yeah.
So,
late night cereal eater here.
What cereal do you drink? Do you eat?
So it varies. So sometimes I'm like real big on Raisin Bran, and I'll add some like cut up bananas.
Okay.
That's my jam.
Ooh, that. You know what? I dig it. I dig it.
You dig it? I mean, it's really good.
You should try one time throwing those M&Ms in that Raisin Bran.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No.
Hey.
I would throw that in
Try
like
taking
some ice cream.
the raisin out of the Raisin Bran and just get bran flakes.
No.
That's way better. I hate raisins.
Raisin Bran Crunch, because I need the crunch in the granola. That's
Granola's pretty good.
Well, then do Captain Crunch.
That fucks up your mouth.
So I have that as well. And I have Cinnamon
It fucks
Toast
up my mouth,
Crunch.
too. It does. It cuts up my gums
Yeah.
and everything.
So what's your favorite cereal?
She just told you.
Well, she said Raisin Bran is her most
I would
common.
have to say Raisin Bran Crunch.
with bananas. Or Raisin Bran Crunch.
Yeah.
Now,
Raisin Bran Crunch.
So when you pour your bowl of cereal,
How much milk?
are
do
you a
add?
normal person, pour the cereal and then the milk, or are you like a fucking psychotic person and pour the milk first?
So I'm not going to lie. At night, I'm a little bit of a psycho because I'm trying to be quiet.
Okay.
And if I pour the cereal first in the bowl, it's kind of loud.
Yeah, it makes
And
it
I'm gonna be
okay.
honest, I don't want the kids to
Do you
wake
have
up.
kids coming out being like, "Oh, I need some cereal."
Yeah, I don't need all that. So what I do is I do pour the milk first at night if the kids are asleep, and then I pour the cereal, so it kind of mutes the sound of the cereal.
But that's not your preferred way of doing it.
Wait, no,
It is not my preferred way. No.
So you're doing your bowl of cereal in the bedroom where the kids are, where they can hear it?
No, I'm in the kitchen.
We don't all live in
But I'm
mansions
like-
in the Philippines.
Well, why the hell would you worry about what they could hear?
Because they
he
might
got
hear
distracted.
it. I
It
have
echoes
this,
across
I
the
have
house.
This, I'm not trying to have them wake up, so anything I can do to make it a little quieter, I'll do.
So that makes perfectly good sense. I don't think you're a psychopath for doing that. I think you're doing it for the right reasons. Follow up
But
question.
yeah, it's definitely not my go-to.
So now that I
way to
know
do it.
when you have to do it, you pour the cereal in after the milk. Do you
Yes.
swash it around a little bit? Does it sit on top and you eat it kind of crunchy, or do you like to get a little soggy before you eat it?
You know, I like some crunch to it.
Okay.
Yeah. I do not do soggy.
Oh.
I prefer soggy-ish.
I do too.
No,
Me too.
not like
I'm not for the soggy limp.
I like
don't do
both.
that.
yeah. Okay, I see that.
I like both.
I don't like mushy soggy. Like when I was in Denver this past weekend, my cousin's wife Haley cooked us bacon, and she asked me like, "Do you like it more crispy or kind of on the not crispy
The
side?"
raw side.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess I like crispy, and I thought what she was serving me was crispy. So I was like, I like this. Whatever you're serving, I like that. I like that's crispy. I like that. And when the fat parts is kind of mushy, where it's movable.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make some crispy bacon." It's like, shit. I thought you were already making crispy bacon. But then she made it more crispy.
You
It's like,
should have said, "This is good." Whatever
but
it's called.
it was all delicious.
Yeah.
And I did follow it by saying, I like it crispy but not burnt. And then she went. and
Okay, yeah.
She told me facts about why it was originally burnt bacon, and I don't remember exactly what she said. But it's
You were
something.
drunk.
I wasn't. This was in the morning.
You
I
were
might have
high.
been still been drunk.
Stop.
Doesn't mean you couldn't be drunk.
You were stoned.
And when I say in the morning, it was like 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and me and
Oh,
Mikey
shit.
stayed
Oh,
up.
okay.
Me and
So
Mikey.
you might have been slightly medicated.
No. Me and Mikey stayed up till the sun came up.
And what
Oh,
were y'all
shit.
doing?
Just bullshit, man.
What were you consuming?
Nothing. So we ended the live Twitch stream at about 3 o'clock, and then me and him, we didn't drink anymore. We just sat there and just caught up and bullshit and talked.
Oh, okay.
It was awesome.
I
It
can
was
see
really,
that
really
with
awesome.
Mikey. I miss Mikey.
Yeah. It was awesome. Sorry.
I knew him better than I knew Dustin.
Yeah.
Well, of course, because he was older.
Sorry to take away from Mother's Day episode.
Oh no. God,
Okay, so
please.
when you're done with your cereal, do you drink the milk?
Of course.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Especially if it's a little sweet.
Do you put milk that as much milk in there to cover the cereal, or do you still see cereal before you see milk?
She likes it kind of crunchy. I'm gonna hold on. Let's.
I definitely don't cover the cereal with
Oh,
milk. 'cause
see.
I was gonna
I
think she
like
didn't.
to.
Elena doesn't either.
I-
she thinks I'm
I like-
psycho. Yeah, she's
I like to see
"That's way
like
too much
half
milk."
cereal and then the
No.
rest is milk.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not me.
So you want your mountain of cereal to have like a moat around it.
A moat, yeah, essentially.
And then you just dig out of the
That's
moat, and as the pile goes down, it gets
Yeah.
it goes into the milk a little more.
This is way
Yeah.
too sophisticated.
We're just talking cereal,
Okay,
man.
I'm bored.
There's
now.
more thought that goes into this than more
Oh, I
than
just
people
beat
understand.
myself a
It
little
really is.
Oh my god.
It
No, you
really is.
didn't.
There's a lot more thought that goes into this. All right, Ashley. What
My
else?
daughter wants me to tell you that Cheetos is her favorite chip.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
Hey, put her on the phone.
Crunchy or the spongy that kind.
The puff
The
one.
puff.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't like the puffs.
You don't
I
like
don't
the
Guys,
like
please
the
say
puffs.
hi to Dustin, Ricky, and Jerry. Say hi.
Hello.
Okay, I told him
Uh,
you said hi.
She's embarrassed
But
now.
you can say hi if you want.
No, mommy, you do it.
She's not interested.
Fine. Okay.
Okay, Ashley. I think. Do you have anybody else want to ask her anything?
Fungins. Okay. I already told him about Fungins.
Ooh,
Thank
do you
you.
put milk on your Funyuns?
Ew.
I saw a video of a guy dipping his hot dog in beer, and I was like, "That's disgusting." And I was like, "You know
I
what?
saw that
I
as
don't know,
well.
that's not-
That
I
might
saw
not
that
be
as well.
so
The
bad."
bun, but not the hot dog.
Oh,
I mean, I
apples?
wouldn't dip the bun, but I would dip the hot dog.
That the
He
wiener.
did the whole fucking thing.
I'll
in
put the
there.
wiener in anything.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining us for the short period of time you did.
Bye.
Yes. Thank
And-
you for having me. And hi, Jerry. Good to
Hello.
talk to you.
Yeah, and when the Mother's Day episode comes out, you probably won't be the first one on there, but you will definitely be on there.
Okay.
Right.
That's fine.
Thank you so much for answering.
Totally fine.
Love you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thanks.
Love you.
Love you.
Have a
Bye.
good night.
Bye.
Bye.
Ouachita River Haven is a year-round vacation destination in the heart of the Ouachita Mountains. If you're looking for a place to take your family or a special loved one, the Ouachita River Haven is a great destination. Located in west central Arkansas, they offer a variety of accommodations for your vacation. From primitive campsites to a honeymoon cabin with a hot tub and champagne. Take advantage of all the property by renting a kayak or canoe, or take a tube down the clear and clean waters of the Ouachita River. Book your trip or get more information at ouachitahaven.com. That's OUACHITAHAVEN.com. ITAHAVEN.com. You can also call them at 870-326-4941.
870-326-4941.
Washita River Haven, your mom's favorite place for rest and relaxation.
Hello?
Hi, Mom.
Look, in stereo, man. Wow.
What are you doing, Mom? Are you out walking?
No, actually, this is the first time I've seen it on TV. I found Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? They're showing it on TV.
Like actual TV?
Nice.
Yeah, like
Like on
A&E.
A&E?
I think it's either A&E or AMC. I'm like, oh, I gotta watch it. I haven't seen it in years.
Nice. Are you going to make Jay watch it with you?
Yeah, I'm making him.
Has he not seen it?
I think he did a long time ago, but it's just I'm still like I still find it so funny.
It's so good.
And so they started singing "I'm a Man of Constant Sorrow." I had to tell them the story, you know.
What story?
The story when in school. Remember at Stribling?
Oh, so is this one of your favorite memories as a mom?
Yeah, tell her what y'all take the lead. Tell
No,
her,
yeah, go
y'all
ahead.
ask
No,
her
that's-
questions.
that's
I
perfect.
don't know what you've
Let's
talked
hear the
about with the
story.
other moms.
No,
Okay,
this is
am
perfect.
I allowed to tell this story?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay. So I'm watching, and you know they go to this Pappy. What's his name? Pappy McDaniel's or whatever, and he's got this tiny little recording studio in the middle of nowhere in Mississippi, and you can go and sing in a can and make money. They called it singing in a can. So they go and sing. So they're singing "I'm a Man of Constant Sorrow," and they go by the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Hell yeah.
So yeah. So I was telling Jay the story about when I think it was you, Emily, and Shannon, maybe.
Yep.
And then the little boy, I don't remember his name with the R.
Reggie.
Reggie. Yes, Reggie.
Reggie, yeah. So y'all sang at the talent show, and I couldn't help but laugh
Well,
when
they
I was
lip
here.
synced. They lip
Well,
sang.
yeah.
Well, so did the actors in the movie.
Yeah.
They did the same
Yeah.
thing as the movie.
Yeah, and I said y'all were wearing overalls and looked country and
Fake
everything.
beards.
Yeah, and
You remember you spray painted those beards for us?
oh,
We bought spray paint and you like spray painted them with white and gray to make them look like old man beards.
yeah. So it's kind of like a ZZ Top look, but
Right.
it's Soggy Bottom Boys. But anyway, I was telling him, but he goes, well, what did they place in the talent show? And I don't even remember that part.
It was never a contest for some reason. It was just like a performance. They
Yeah.
never
It
had
was
any
just,
kind
It
of
was like elementary school, so
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it was
in high
just
school they
different.
had places,
Yeah.
but not
Yeah.
elementary.
Okay. Well, I was like, I don't remember that part. It was just so much fun that I couldn't remember if it was just, you get a ribbon because you participated. You know what I mean?
Nope, not even that.
Not
But
even
you know what? I think we did get first place in comedy because I remember everybody was laughing.
Oh, I know. It was hilarious. And so anyway, that's what I'm watching right now. It's towards the end and they already kicked him out of Woolworths and oh my Lord.
And don't you
The little-
come back.
Yeah. And so
Stay
the
out
little
of
short,
Woolworths.
the little short goes, is that just that one or the whole chain?
So you have 3 kids, right, Doris?
Yes, I do. Okay. Well, I have a
Open-ended
boy,
questions.
2 girls. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
Not okay. Who's learning about radio here?
Dustin.
Okay. So let me tell you, that's not a fair question to ask. So speaking of radio, no, they're all awesome.
No,
They're
you-
all
We
awesome.
all know it's Travis.
Yeah, you can say it. I can edit it out so they'll never hear it.
No, I would never. I love them all the same.
Well, Elena's the favorite middle child. We know that.
Are y'all interviewing moms?
We are.
This evening?
Yeah, this is our Mother's
Yeah.
Day
It's our
episode.
Mother's Day special, so nothing but moms. It's all about the moms because we're your mom's favorite podcast.
Aw, that's cool. Have you already talked to your mom today?
Not yet. Well,
Not
Depends
yet.
on when this
Okay.
airs, but
Yeah.
she might be before you, but no, we have not talked to her yet.
Yeah, so you're just gonna like all through the week just kind of talk to everybody.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moms.
That's
We have a
and
lot
then
of moms.
Teresa. You got Teresa, Kathy,
Yeah.
me. Who?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had Alika
Yeah.
and Vicky on, and then now we're
Okay.
after we're done with you, we're gonna have
Yeah.
Holly, Stephanie, and Brenda on.
Yep.
Two of my really good friends and my cousin.
Oh, okay. Is that the Holly I know from
No.
that took pictures? No. Okay, not that Holly. Okay.
Why does
Well,
it have to be
that's
a duo every time y'all answer a question?
No, because it has to be. I mean, that's the only way. I mean, it's amazing. It is absolutely amazing.
I know they are.
Like Ricky
so,
said
like,
it last time. He was like, "This has to happen all the time."
Yes, I love it. You're right. That's why they should always share a mic.
We don't plan it. It just happens.
Well, y'all look at each other as you're saying it.
I
so
did not
don't.
even look at her.
I wasn't even looking at her.
Watch
Okay.
the live stream. What? Play it back.
Hey,
we
Doris.
can't play back.
Uh-huh.
Do you have any stories about your kids embarrassing you at some point? Just like something they did that you're like, I can't believe they're doing this right now.
See if she says it.
Yeah.
It has to do with a watch in the mall.
A watch in the mall. Yes. Okay,
I don't think I
can't
was there because nothing is.
could not be there, and I don't remember the specifics where exactly we were, but I think that we were going to get Grammy a gift. Is that what it was?
Oh, I remember now. Okay.
Getting Grammy a gift.
Yes.
I don't know what it was, but
Yes.
like, she needs a watch. It's always, and her watch was like the watch she had. The face and the numbers were really small, and she was already, to that age where you can't, you need reading glasses to see stuff like that. So anyways, we're like, we need to get her watch with a larger, face, so she can see the numbers like a Timex. And I think it was Anna
Yeah.
said something, and I guess, I don't know if you were like right next to us or maybe you were in the distance, so you didn't quite hear, and I think she said, why are you buying Grammy Tampax?
She like yells it.
That was it, right? Anna?
Yeah. I'm like, I don't
Like,
remember what
why
I
are we-
said. Something about.
I thought she told the store person, "We're looking for Tampax for my Grammy."
No.
Something like that.
Yeah, that was pretty.
When
Yeah.
really we were looking for Timex watches.
Yes, not
For
Tampax.
It kind of sounded like that. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
it was embarrassing, but I couldn't help but laugh. So it was funny too. It was those silly kids are going to be kids, and it's funny. Like, we were driving home one time, and the kids were little, like, I don't know, probably 5, and Elena's 7, and Travis 9, and we were new to Burleson, and different from the city. There's a lot of trees everywhere, and so we're getting home, and we're like, well, which way home? We're on Renfro, like, which direction? That way. And Anna goes, over there. We live over there by the trees, or in the trees. And they gave her hell for that. Like, in the trees, really, Anna? Like, poor little thing. But it was funny. But kids say those things,
Right.
So what's the most embarrassing thing Elena would say?
Elena?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Elena. Well, it wasn't embarrassing. It was funny. I remember going to Oklahoma, and she's probably about 9 or 10. Anyway, so we're going, and there's a car in front of us, not real close, but pretty where you could see the name of the model of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think I've heard
and she goes, "Oh my God, look, it's a buck."
So dumb.
You know what she's saying,
Why
Ricky?
did I even
What
say
type of
that?
car?
No.
It was
It's
a
Buick.
Buick.
It's a Buick, not a Buck.
But it was funny. It wasn't really embarrassing, but that just kind of
I don't
stayed
even
with
know
us.
why I said that. Like, I have no clue. I don't even know. It's just one of those stupid things kids say, you know, hey, look, it's a bug,
Yeah.
you know. I don't know.
It was so funny.
The
We
eye's
laughed. So, yeah, it was pretty funny.
Okay, I have another simple question for you.
Okay.
When you're the first time you're pregnant, the first time you felt your baby move inside your belly, or wherever it's at.
Yeah.
What was that? How can you describe that feeling that you had?
Can I describe it? Okay. It was like a little flutter, sort of like gas, you know?
We've heard it. We've heard that.
Yeah. From me?
No, not from you.
No.
From other moms.
He's heard that too, Mom. He's
I thought
definitely
you meant
heard that
I got
too, the
some
gas
gas.
part.
Okay, I thought like you actually heard me make, fart.
Oh,
but-
well, yeah.
Absolutely.
Well,
Definitely
yeah,
heard that.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay. It's sort of like that. But like a flutter, just like a little flutter. It's the strangest feeling, but and then, I can remember, him getting bigger and actually seeing the shape of like a foot on my skin from the, you could actually see, but that's cool. It was really cool. Yeah.
So
Did you know, like, were you planning to have Travis and myself and Anna? Like, how did that go down? Because that would have been, in the 80s and then early 90s, twice.
Yeah. Well, I can honestly say I didn't plan any one of y'all.
none of them.
They were all mistakes.
Oh, wow. Come on.
I meant
was
accidents. My bad.
Happy
That was real
accident.
bad. No, they were all awesome surprises, but I never knew what any of them were, ahead of time. So it was all good.
So
It's
it was
all
all a
good.
surprise on the Tinder whenever
Yeah.
it came out?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was awesome. It was
And
awesome.
Were they all natural or did you have C-section?
They were all natural.
Yeah.
All
And
natural.
which one was the worst to birth? Worst to birth?
Okay. I think you
I
probably
do already know this, but
Yeah,
Shit.
but and it's not a bad thing. It just was the way it was for
It was
whatever.
very memorable.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, no, I do know why. And it's and this is what happened.
You thought you were birthing Satan.
Wow.
And I don't think that's been proven wrong yet.
Wow.
And I do have a birthmark.
Yeah. No, but what happened with Travis? I have an epidural and it worked fantastic. No problems. With my second child, Elena, the doctor, who was Dr. True at the time, he goes, he told the anesthesiologist, go ahead and give her an epidural. I'll be right back. So the doctor leaves and he goes and gets an epidural, the anesthesia doctor, and comes back and he does give me one. So maybe 30 minutes later or so, Dr. True comes back to check on me. And he says, so you doing better now? How's it going? I'm like, no, absolutely not.
Maybe
There's
not
no
doing
chance.
good.
Not good at
Worst thing ever, actually.
And so right about that time, the anesthesiologist walks in and he asked him, well, did you give it to her? What was it? Blah, blah, blah. And so I hear them kind of talking amongst themselves. And he tells them what brand he used. And Dr. True is like, no. Like I hear him say, that's not the kind or not what I wanted you to use or something to that effect. So whatever he used on me did not work. Okay. So therefore, having her was pretty much like a natural.
all natural.
Yeah. It didn't work. So, it was just be that way. So it worked when I had Anna. It worked great. So I think this is what I've come to the conclusion of thinking is like, I can now sympathize and know what it's like, when women go, oh yeah, I had it natural and blah, blah, blah. And they tell their stories. because now I know both ways. I can understand both ways. So
it sounds
Yeah, it
like
was-
for sure Elena's not your favorite.
Oh, wow.
She wasn't
We
at the
can rule
time.
her out.
The time of birth.
From day
No,
one,
no.
you're like, definitely not my favorite.
No, that's not true. I would say the
So she
moral
is
of
your
the story,
favorite.
get
Oh.
good drugs. That's what I would say. The moral of the
Get
story.
good
is-
drugs. I love that.
Get the drugs.
Yeah. Get drugs. Make sure that your anesthesiologist is a good one. And don't try to be a hero. Seriously.
Yeah, just get the epidural, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's the way to go because it's less stress on you, less stress on the baby, blah blah. That, yeah, for sure. So she was the toughest one to have for that reason. For that reason.
So yeah, we learned earlier that our friend Vicky had two kids and no epidural for either one of them, both fully natural births.
God bless her.
Yeah. So she definitely doesn't have a favorite kid.
Yeah.
So why did he do that? Like, did you ask her, like, why?
No, she
Like,
said because at the time
She was young.
they were telling her that it's a bad idea. It could paralyze you, getting a shot in your back. So, and she was 17, so she's like she was scared. And then when she had her second child, she heard the same thing. She's like, didn't want to risk it.
Yeah.
They tricked her.
I guess there's a chance, but I think it's very small that like something like that would happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is back in the late 80s, so.
Yeah. And she was 17.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, well, she lived through it, so
Yeah.
she's a trooper then. Were the babies big? Did she say? How big were
She
they?
didn't say.
Oh, that's a good question. We should have asked her.
So which one out of all three, which one was the biggest?
By 1 ounce, Travis. He was
yeah.
7'7".
He was what?
Elena 6'6".
Oh, you were 7'6"?
I was 6'15".
And Anna was 6'15". Yeah.
Oh.
So Anna was the easiest.
Yeah.
And you had the epidural.
Yes, and it actually worked. So it was all good. At that time in 89, in those days, at least at this hospital, Arlington Memorial, when you were in labor, you were in a certain room. It was the labor room, all clinical, all kind of sterile and that kind of thing. And then when Elena came along, they had these brand new rooms. And so when you went into labor at Arlington Memorial, you were like in a regular room, like the room that you're in the hospital, with the bed and the bathroom, just like a regular room. So all that, did change, and that was nice. That was the labor part, of course. But then once, you were going to deliver, then they would wheel you into the, like the OR,
Yeah.
But that was a nice change in 91.
And weren't you in a magazine?
I was. It was for the Arlington Memorial magazine.
Wow.
How did you know that? I remembered that.
I don't know.
Did
I
she
just
say-
remember.
How did
I
you know
remember the picture, and Travis is in the picture with you. Well, and I am
Yeah.
too, but
And then I mentioned that when we were cleaning out Grandma's things,
Did you find
what
it?
like, last month? Yes, she had it.
Aw, she saved it.
She saved it, and she wrote at the front, like one of the front pages,
Aw.
Doris and Travis on page 5. I'm like, oh God. And the way that came about, I was just going for one of my checkups, and I guess the lady, whoever put this together, I guess on the staff for the hospital, we ended up in the elevator together, and she saw I was big and pregnant, and she goes, "Would you mind modeling for us for our new labor rooms that we're going to have?" And I'm like, sure. I'm like, wow, that's exciting. So anyway, that's how that came about. And so we're in these, in this room, and they show, I'm not in the bed, but they have a lady.
She's actively pushing. Legs in stirrups.
She's in the bed, but and there's a nurse kind of modeling on the side of the bed, and Travis and I are standing kind of at the foot of the bed, just like we're all talking to each other. Yeah. But they're not really, everyone's, the nurse is a model, and the lady in the bed, they're all models. It's all, it's all set up, Yeah. But, so that's how that came about. It just she just saw me in an elevator, and I'm like, sure, I'll do it. And
you'll have to text me a picture. Do you have it? Do you have the magazine on you?
I think I left it at the house with a bunch of books that I'm packing to bring.
Oh, okay.
But the actual book it's still at Dad's house.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll ask him for it.
Yeah. It was the last place I remember that it was by his recliner in that little book stand. Remember that little?
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. That's the last place I remember it being. But yeah. So when Elena came along, those rooms were available, and that was it just made you feel
state of the art, kind of like a.
Still didn't. The epidural do what the
work.
epidurals
did.
Yeah, I know, right?
Still caveman era, but we're gonna give you a nice room.
Yeah. They're even improved and prettier colors and stuff in the room, but I don't know what they have nowadays when you're in labor, what the rooms look like, but
I hear it's kind of like a full-blown like hotel room,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like each room you have like your own nurse, and I have no idea, but
I'm sure. I mean, whatever for what they charge nowadays, I'm sure you get great service and the best of quality of whatever. So yeah. It, in a way it seems like a long time ago, but then, in a way it doesn't. It's hard to explain. You guys will all know someday, when you have kids and then they're grown, it's like, whoa, what happened,
Yeah. 30 years.
I'm very, I know. It's like, what? But yeah, I'm very, very blessed. I'm a very blessed mother, and they all fantastic and, smart. All of them are super smart and good looking. I don't know where they got that from, but
take it easy.
I do.
Physically, everyone's all physically, fantastic. It's just, I'm just so lucky. Yeah.
Well, perfect. Well, thanks for being on with us, Doris. Happy Mother's Day again.
I hope y'all enjoyed the Mother's Day special. I know we had a blast talking to all the moms. Dustin?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Did you enjoy it?
I enjoyed it, yeah. We learned some stories that I don't think that we've heard.
And we still
from all of them.
Yeah, and we still have enough content to do probably an SNL Light somewhere down the road just for fun.
Yeah.
And then,
There we go. We do it for the moms.
We do it for the moms.
There you go.
Sims and Leon, your mom's favorite podcast. Check us out at simsandleon.com.
SIMSANDLEON at gmail.com. Check out our TikTok, SNL_boys with a Z.
Yeah, and don't forget about that Twitch stream, twitch.tv/SimsandLeon. Hit that heart. Wow. Doris, thank you so much for joining us, and have a happy Mother's Day.
All right. Thanks, guys. I love y'all.
Love you, Mom.
Bye, Mom. Love you.
Okay. Bye.
No, he was able to get it up on his own.
I need you to duct tape my ass.